Hello everyone. Hello. I'm here. It's Monday. Welcome to tonight's stream. We have this week's draft review going on, as well as that, whatever the fuck else I feel like doing afterwards. I don't know if we'll be going too late for me to want to start another Mega Man game, but we'll see. If not, we might just have, like, chill TF2 or, like, Mario Kart or whatever. We have so many options. The world is really our oyster. But I hope you're all doing well. I hope you're all having a good Monday. We got some exciting matches this week, apparently. Not for me. I'm gonna be transparent. I think, like, my match that I had this week is, like, probably the worst one we're gonna see tonight. Not because of, like, you know, anything that, like, Sienna did, but just because, like, my heart was not necessarily in this week, when I was playing. So, like, I'm gonna have, like, basically, like, very little commentary for my own match, because it's like, what do I say? My thought process was end the match as quickly as possible, to be quite honest. But hopefully every other match should be good. Yeah, we have the slurping singer Sienna. I'm feeling a bit better about Draft League after this week also. Like, I just, like, the match I had was just an unfortunate, like, it came at an unfortunate time, and, like, I was a dummy and didn't really reschedule it, which I should have, but I didn't. So it is what it is. It is what it is. But we'll have some good matches tonight. We'll have some good fucking matches tonight, and now I am on stage with my co-host. That's right, the second half of Game Grumps.
It's me, the slurping singer.
Yep. We are the two members of Star Bomb.
Yeah, we did it. We did that. We did Ninja Fuck Party and more.
Yeah, Sienna's actually the one who came up with the lyric Dark Souls hardest fucking game in the world.
Yeah.
She was really proud of it.
I was really proud of the one about Mario's versus Link boner, Zelda boner, Mario.
Yeah, the only thing is that, like, the thing that disappoints me about, like, our Zelda songs that we definitely did together is that none of them had, like, as good lyrics as the Smosh rap, where they have Ganondorf say L-I-N-K more like L-I-N gay.
Yeah. Although I switched mics in between you doing that because I realized I was not set to the right mic, but I think everybody said it was fine still, so it's probably fine. But yeah, you should have been aborted. Okay. Let's get the sheet up. Let's get, holy sheet! Let's get the sheet up. But yeah. Let's,
Here, let me get the sheet.
Yeah. You want to pull up our match first? Just get out of the way.
Yeah, let's just get it over with. I already said in the intro, like, I kinda just, like, fucked up not scheduling it on a day I felt better. So let's talk about the cool moves you made, primarily.
Yeah, I'll talk about epic ideas. I'm very proud of my building either way, so I'm like excited to talk about that at least.
Yeah.
Even if, you know, it was slightly unfortunate circumstances. But yeah.
Alright, I gotta stream to Discord.
Yup. Okay.
Do you guys like my new logo for TF2, by the way? We should talk about trades real quick, because this is semi-related to trades.
We should actually.
So, I want to talk about mine real quick. Obama Snow is no longer with us, so that's why he's in the TF2 logo now. I sent him away.
If you want to open up like the trades tab, we can just talk about all of them really quick.
Yeah.
So we had if you go down to it starts with
this.
Starts with friggin'.
Starts with our
It starts
trade.
with Tristana. It does start with that. So yeah, Revivroom to Obama Snow. Basically, I didn't want Revivroom anymore, and I was gonna free agent trade it anyways. So I offered it to Morgan, who thought it sounded like the best solution for the problems that they had in total.
Yeah, Hazards is like a little bit of a concern with me, especially because I've kind of halfway through the league, I'm kind of like at a point where it's like, I cannot keep doing support Tusk. I probably can still run Rapid Spin on it, but in general, Tusk cannot be a support mon. It's not working out.
Yeah. Spin is very good. It's not Spin is good on Tusk because it can just randomly win the game if it gets one Rapid Spin and it's just faster and everything.
Yeah.
So it's not that is a
yeah. It's still an option at the end of the day, and it'll still probably come into effect, but I'll definitely have to be a bit more choosy about when I get Tusk in, since I'm gonna need him to put in some more work. So I took Revivroom because that helps out a little bit with toxic spikes and stuff, and also it pairs up well with a lot of my team. You know, it pairs up good with Orthworm because it's a good lower tier setup mon. It has funny parting shot and shit. It's got some funny stuff. I think
it's got its own toxic spikes. It's got its own toxic spikes. It's got good stuff. I think it overall is nice. And also it just kind of it can take some of your more prominent weaknesses pretty well neutrally or just resist them, which is nice. And it has a good amount of set variety. I think it fits definitely better into your roster than mine.
Obama Snow in the end was just not every time I was building a team, it was always okay, I need a Snow setter. It's Ninetales every time.
Yeah.
It's literally always Ninetales. There was not a single solution that I could rotate in my mind where Obama Snow was better. And I was thinking, maybe there'd be, one or two times, because it does have that grass typing. But as it turns out, this is gonna be a real shock to anybody who plays Pokemon, but Fairy type is way better than grass type.
Yeah. And the bulk that Ninetales has is secretly amazing because it gets the snow defense boost, so it's effectively working with 120, 100 defenses.
Yeah.
So it's really hard to kill. It's really fast. It's hard to outspeed. It is very hard to prevent it from getting Aurora Veil up, and it's very easy to prevent Obama Snow from getting Aurora Veil up. Yeah.
You look at Obama Snow funny and it starts screaming.
Yeah, but I took the Obama Snow I just want to help out Morgan. I immediately free agent traded it away, which I guess we'll talk about that when we get to it. But for now that's that trade. We have Tristana's two trades. Tristana's Australian, so it was kind of a it was very late in Australia when we started trades, and Tristana was up early, so up early in the trade order, not up early in the you know what I mean. So I kind of suggested stuff. She ended up taking my advice, just with Heliolisk for Sigilif and Mr. Rhyme for Jolteon. Basically with Sigilif being extra hazard control, and it's also nice in sand because it has Magic Guard and stuff. And it's just a good it's just a really reliable hazard remover in general because of Magic Guard.
Yeah, Magic Guard goes crazy.
And Sigilif is also funny, notably. Everybody likes it, so that's another thing about it.
Yeah, if you're a Sigilif hater, get the fuck off my stream.
Yeah, and then we had a Mr. Arm for Jolteon, which is just Jolteon replaces Heliolisk as the electric type. It got Calm Mind in Gen 9, so it's got like a better kind of setup option than it had before, and it's a nice speed tier 130 on an otherwise pretty slow roster. So it's pretty nice. Yeah. We had Mike's trade. Mike's trades. Mega Ampharos for like a Heracross. I think this should be pretty like self-explanatory why one would trade Mega Ampharos away.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to all the Mega Ampharos fans. I'm one too. It's not that good.
Mega Heracross is also funny as fuck because of that skilling.
Yeah.
I've used Mega Heracross before. It's like so funny.
Yeah. I love that Mega Heracross has almost the same effective attack stat as like Mega Mawile, because it's just like has like 185 attack. It's really funny.
Yeah.
I like that guy. Everybody likes that guy. And then Chuckle for Xurkitree. So like to explain it really quickly, this isn't like this trade was. You can trade if you had like any Pokemon that were like from a lower tier in a higher tier, then you could trade any of the lower tier Pokemon, which I'm not going to explain anymore because it's kind of convoluted to explain. But the point is that these Pokemon were in different tiers, but it was a legal trade, is what I'm saying. Shuckle for Xurkitree. Xurkitree is cool and funny.
Yeah, Xurkitree is like a little goofball that you got to watch out for.
Shuckle, like, as a Mon, I think on Mike's roster didn't make that much sense. Shuckle has its place, but it wasn't really there.
Yeah.
Especially with, like, Hisui and Samurott and stuff. Like, if you need hazard setters, like, you got them already. You don't need Shuckle. But Zerk's pretty cool. In Z status meta, it gets to run Z electric terrain, and which is +1 speed, which is really nice because it's pretty slow. But it's pretty fast with +1. And obviously it makes those electric moves stronger. So like Xurkitree's fun. I used it in my last draft, so I like it. I'm a fan. Ellie picked up Wheezing Galar from Miss Magius, which was what she had before. This kind of solves the maximum number of issues that Ellie has on her team, like in the smallest number of trades, because Ellie was kind of lacking a grounded poison type and also lacking like a reliable hazard remover. Well, at least one that isn't Superior, who wants to be clicking Leaf Storm. And it's kind of Wheezing Galar is kind of very good at doing that. It is not always a grounded poison type, but it can be a grounded poison type, and like Misty Surge and the other one are both excellent abilities. Neutralizing Gas are both excellent abilities. And it's a great defogger. So I think Wheezing Galar's great. I think it's one of the better Pokemon in Tier 5. So I think it's a good pickup. There were talk of maybe a couple other trades for Ellie, but we just settled on just the one. Faye traded Altaria for Uxie. There was a lot of agonizing over this from Faye's point of view, but eventually Faye basically wanted a more reliable hazard setter so that Clefable didn't have to run Stealth Rock like every game.
Yeah.
And Uxie ended up being the choice. Cloth and a couple other guys were considered. But Uxie was Uxie won out. Uxie is yeah, no, Clefable certainly reliable. It's just, yeah, you don't want to use Clefable the same way every game for a Mon that's that versatile. Yeah. Yeah, it has like Trick Room, it has nice bulk, it has a pretty colorful move pool in general. Yeah. Bell traded out the infamous Scovillain, who has finally ended its reign of terror of being drafted in fucking lower tiers than it should be. But actually, like, pretty much fine anyways. For Staraptor,
rest in peace, Scovillain, the funniest Mon.
Me and Belle talked about her trades like quite a bit, and we settled on these. Staraptor is basically like Belle didn't really have anything that was flying or floating, which was kind of a shame, and she probably needed like another pivot and like instantly strong thing, and also a nice priority user. It's not the strongest priority ever, but like a banded Staraptor quick attack is going to hit pretty hard. Yeah. Staraptor being in tier 5 is maybe dubious, but it just ended up there and it happens.
Slappins to the best of us.
But yeah, and it also like beyond like its strength, it can also just be a nice intimidate pivot with U-turn and stuff like that. So it can fill a nice couple roles. It's pretty good. Everybody knows Staraptor is pretty good. Everybody's used it before in their in-game teams.
Yeah, he's like the main character of Gen 4, pretty much.
Yeah, and we had a Celebi for Gallade. Celebi was like good, but like kind of not like it was kind of competing in any role it could fill, like with other things that are on Belle's roster, especially because Belle had a lot of grass types. Before these trades, Belle had 5 grass types, which is just too many. It's too many grass types.
Yeah, again, grass is just not like fantastic type.
Yeah. And so Celebi was kind of competing with like, you know, it's like for a status absorber you can use Blissey, and like for like a, you know, for something with like a like instantly strong grass type like Breaker, you can use like Meowscarada, and for like XYZ, like you always have probably a better option than Celebi, or you can fill its niche in some way. So Celebi got dropped for Clefable. Belle was kind of missing a lot of, again, instantly strong things, especially instantly strong things that can like carry like Scarf or whatever and just like scare the shit out of you. And Gallade is like, with sharpness, Gallade hits like a fucking truck, dude. It hits so hard. They just gave it 1.5 times on all the slicing moves for no reason. Well, probably for the reason of it has, like, knife arms. But, you know. That should hopefully be good. It can also do, like, you know, it has various sets. It can run, like, agility, sword dance, like, double dance. Like, it has options. And it hits fucking hard. Ray traded Licky for Rotom Fan. The GOAT, Licky is gone, sadly. Rotom Fan is interesting because it's kind of just bad Zapdos, but like that means it's still pretty good. It's Zapdos with no ability and no recovery, which means it's still pretty good.
Yeah, Air Slash isn't the worst stab in the world.
Yeah, it's
God,
like,
I'm imagining the world where the Rotom forms get introduced in, like, Gen 8, and, like, Rotom Fans, like, move is, like, Hurricane.
Somebody said, like, what if it had Roost? And it was like, damn, that'd be
fucked
That'd
up.
be kind of wild. then it would be like the best Rotom form. But yeah. It's like decent. I don't know. Like it effectively doesn't have an ability because of course it's levitate on a flying type, but it like it's like nice. It's nice and bulky. It obviously has the same stats as all the other Rotom appliances. It's a nice little pivot. Like it's certainly an option that exists. Anything that like would benefit from the defensive profile of Zapdos probably benefits from the defensive profile of Rotom Fan. Yeah. And then Overquill for Nihilego. Ray still believes in Iron Treads to eventually cook.
I support Ray so much. Iron Treads is gonna be an all-star. Iron Treads is gonna win the whole thing.
Yeah.
Just wait for it.
Yeah, and then, yeah, Nihilego is, but yeah, Overquill was kind of, like, not doing a lot of games. And so, just kind of replaced it with a different grounded poison type, funny story, Ray, at, like, one night, like, late at night, Ray and I were talking, and they looked at the sheet and were like, "Hey, hey, Nihilego's not on this. Does that mean I got drafted as a tier 6?" And I said no. I just immediately put it on the sheet as a tier 4, and now Ray has it, but got it at full price. So, I guess that's what you get for being honest. But yeah, yeah, Nihilego's good. It has good stats. It has good moves. Yeah, and it sets Stealth Rock. That is a very important thing. Ray was having problems with the fact that they did not have, like, any Stealth Rock setters. Yeah. WAFFLOES made 2 terrifying trades. Honestly, I think these might be the 2 best trades in the trade period. I'll be real. Yeah, Galvantula for Rotom-Mow and Lycanroc Dawn for Orbeetle is like nuts. I'll be real. Lycanroc Dawn is dubious, but like I understand. Like Orbeetle, basically, you're keeping the webs on deck, and Orbeetle's really good. Orbeetle learns like every move, notably. Yeah, that shit learns Recover. If that shit learned Teleport, it would actually be like fucking Ubers. But you know, at least it can like drop its Speed IV to 0 and click U-turn if it wants. But yeah, it's got like Recover and like fucking Sticky Web and like Trick Room and all this different stuff. It's a really like value like utility mon for tier 6, and it's bulky. It's like pretty bulky. Yeah, WAFFLOES, you also keep all your types. And then Rotom-Mow is just like, it's nuts. Rotom-Mow is a defogger, is like a floating defogger that resists Stealth Rock. And that's really all you need to know about it. And it hits hard, and it's cool. But yeah, I think that's a super good, like, pair of trades. It basically maintains, like, all the integrity of the roster, but just, like, oh, look, it's fucking... It's the Pokemon are, like, better now. It's crazy. Eve just decided to trade away her tier 6s for different tier 6s. So, Avalokhisui for Spiritomb. I think that's a good trade. Avalokhisui kind of shit. Spiritomb's better overall. Eve wanted, like, one of Dusknoir or Dusclops, and then I was like, hey, Spiritomb's kind of better, and Eve was like, yeah, Spiritomb's kind of better, isn't it? And then you've got Spiritomb. Yeah. Then Eve traded away Doxbun for Shedinja. I believe she said a friend of hers suggested Shedinja, just as like, hey, if you're not doing anything with this tier 6 slot, you might as well, like, scare the shit out of somebody by making them have to run random coverage moves to beat Shedinja. It's like, yeah. probably true. It's a totally fair mon to run in your tier 6 slot. Our friend Sauzels, our friend Hazel, got rid of Mega Bayonet finally. After bringing Mega Bayonet to 0 games for 4 weeks. And like I prepped with her, and she wanted to bring it so many times, and it never got brought because it was just like it's not that good. She got Mega Aerodactyl instead. Mega Aerodactyl is nice for that roster because it has a lot of. It's really fucking fast, and it has a lot of good moves, and it can run like Hone Claws or Dragon Dance. Like you can run Hone Claws to make its rock stabs like fully accurate, or it can run Dragon Dance to just be so fucking fast that you just don't even know what to do.
And it's a noted funny guy. It's sweet and cute,
yeah.
and I like it.
Yeah. Yeah, and then we had a Berserker for Dustclops. That guy's... I think it's a fair trade. I think Hazel wanted to just have, like, a Ghost type to replace Bayonet, just to fill the role of Ghost type, and Dustclops not gonna be in every match bring. I mean, I kind of talked about it. Hazel was like... I was like, I think Dusknoir's kind of better, and then Hazel was like, okay, well, Dusknoir is kind of better, but it's like, it doesn't do... It's like... Dustclops, I'm basically only going to run because I want to fucking tank 1,000,000 hits, and I don't care if it's passive. And I was like, yeah, that's fair. Yeah, like, it's a tier 6. Like, if you want it for a niche use case, it might as well be super specialized in that niche use case instead of a generalist.
Yeah.
So I feel that, Rip Berserker. He's died forever. And finally, Lillie... well, no, not finally, actually. We have 2 more... We have actually... The other Lillie also had trades, which I don't know if they ended up on the sheet yet.
They did not.
Oh, no. They didn't end up on the trades page, but they did end up on her page. So we can go to that for that. But, yeah, Toxtricity for Muckalola, it's just getting a different grounded poison type. Toxtricity is kind of mid on this roster, I think, overall. It was just, like, another thing in, like, the base, like... 80 speed area that wasn't really accomplishing that much. So I think Muckalola's a good trade. It adds some nice utility to stuff. And then Pincursion for Golurk to finally get a ground type on our Canada Lilies roster here. So, you know, that's pretty cool. But I think that sums that up. We can go to Lillie, other Lilies. USA Lilies roster and just look at the trades, which are we had Oratrice for Mousehold. Mousehold is, you know what Mousehold does. Everybody knows what Mousehold does. Maybe they don't. I'll explain. It clicks the button. It clicks the funny button that does 1 billion damage. Yay! Yay!
Population bomb.
Yeah. Yeah, Mousehold is kind of dubious because, in draft, just because, Population Bomb is a contact move, so people can just, like, run fucking Rocky Helmet, but I think in Lillie's roster, I think she has a lot of ways to deal with that, and also, like, Protective Pads, like, look, if you get 5 hits on Population Bomb, that's still, like, a 200 power move. It's nothing to, before stab. That's like nothing to sneeze at. Yeah. Mousehold's pretty good. And also Tidy Up's just a good move. It's literally Dragon Dance that clears hazards. Like, what the fuck? And then we had fucking Wishy Washy for Cursula. Wishy-Washy sucks and doesn't do anything. So Cursula does more stuff than Wishy-Washy does. This is partially just like a heart pick for Lillie. There was rationale behind it. Basically, Cursula is like kind of a secondary rock setter, if needed, and it is like a really good Trick Room mon. Like Specs, Shadow Ball, and Trick Room. It's just like, what do you even do? You just take those hits. But also, that's just the Pokemon Lillie really likes. So, you know, she'd want it. But that about covers that, in terms of trades. Oh, wait, I didn't talk about my trade, lol. We can go back to the trades really quick, or not, I don't really care. Actually, you can just go to my sheet if we're doing our game, and I can talk about it really quickly. But like, yeah, I traded Revavroom for Drapion. Or, well, I traded Abomasnow for Drapion, technically. But I traded Revavroom for Drapion. Effectively. Basically, I was just like, I don't need Revavroom. It doesn't do anything on my roster. Anytime I was thinking about bringing Revavroom, I was like, why is this not Mega Caesar? Or, like, why, like, this overlaps with Mega Caesar too much. And that's just not really, like, a good, like, way to run things. Drapion is just kind of better overall for me. It finally gives me like a ghost resist, like a real ghost resist, which is nice. I like it. I like Drapion. It's funny. He has arms coming out of his head. And his stats are funny too. And he learns funny moves. He learns Whirlwind. Did you guys know that?
Kind of dope.
I don't know why he's allowed to make wind, but you know, happens. Yeah, let's we can do this match first.
My final comment on trades is that I realized at some point I was thinking about trading Mega Mawile, and then like when we were actually doing trades, that didn't even come to mind, so I didn't do that. So maybe it's for the best that I still have Mega Mawile, but I was thinking about it. I was thinking about killing that fool.
I still think Mawile is really good for you.
I just haven't figured out how to use it yet.
Yeah. Anyways. We can game.
Also, if it's okay with everybody, I'm only going to be playing the battle themes during the actual battles, because my YouTube recommended, like, feeds has been, like, fucking ruined by, like, having these songs loop, like, 10 times on stream while we talk about the teams as well.
Yeah.
Like...
Yeah,
like, I can't, like, look at, like, any, like, YouTube music mix anymore, because it just gives me everybody's battle themes now. It's so funny. Like, that never happened with my main music playlist for the stream, because there are, like, 1,000 songs in here that, like, it's very rare that, like, a song repeats more than once on stream, unless, like, YouTube has, like, a epic YouTube moment.
Oh. Yeah. Ugh.
But yeah, here's my epic fail moment. But it's okay. It's okay. I actually am kind of proud of the team I built, in a way. I think I have some funny sets that were meant to counter stuff that I, like, was pretty sure Sienna was gonna bring. I just didn't have the mental fortitude to actually, like, smartly play around and, like, actually do that.
Yeah. So here's this Akaberry Roserade that I brought, specifically to set hazards on Dirge. And, well, I set hazards on Dirge.
Yeah, it's okay.
I think it was supposed to be named Asexual Nicki Minaj, but I fucked up. Well, I didn't fuck up, it didn't let me. That crit mattered, but it also didn't, because Torch Song wouldn't have killed me. And then,
well, it kind of did matter, because otherwise I was gonna Will-O-Wisp your ass, and then Crawdaunt was gonna be really sad about it.
I did frickin'... I mean, I think the second Crab Hammer would have killed still, but it would have made the... I don't know, whatever. But anyways, yeah. This is kind of a weird scenario.
I actually think. Did I have flamethrower on this?
Yeah.
Yes, I did. No, I didn't. Never mind. That wasn't a misclick. I just didn't have it.
The second SD was not a good idea. But this Rock Blast still doesn't fucking kill. Because Mega Caesar's amazing. But then I, like, for some reason, like, spaghetti and assume that I'm faster and just, like, don't click Bullet Punch. But, Blaze is, here. Yeah. And then Morgan has to try to click Dragon Dance to be faster than the Scarf, like,
I,
Blaze.
literally knew in my mind that I wouldn't outspeed if I did that. Like, to be honest, I knew, like, oh, I should have just clicked Glaive Rush, but I was like, I want this to be done faster.
Even the Glaive Rush wouldn't have done anything because Talonflame would have revenge killed, and then I would have just pivoted around and killed the Ninetales too. Like, it wouldn't have really, like, mattered that much.
It would have gotten me a better differential.
Yeah, at the very least. But yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I was cooking some secret sauce that I didn't really get to use because I was, like, being dumb. I mean, you got to see the Drill Run Cloister. I'm proud of the Drill Run Cloister. It got to
I straight up did not know I learned that shit.
Yeah, that was something I was proud of bringing. I don't remember exactly what I was bringing it for, to be honest. Whatever it was, I don't think even really came into this battle, because it couldn't have been for Blaze, because, like, I have Rock Blast for that fool. I guess maybe as a reliable option, just because if Cloister's not killing Blaze, then the world is fucked. So maybe I brought it for that, but I don't know. I feel like it was for something specific that is not on Sienna's roster in this battle. And that's okay.
It might have been Revavroom.
Oh my god, you might be right, because Revavroom kind of did match well into my team.
Yeah. And I also kept loudly saying I was going to bring Revavroom before deciding I couldn't bring Revavroom because it wasn't going to do anything.
Yeah, Dice Backs is real this time. I did bring the Dice Backs. I didn't really have a good opportunity to bring it in, really. I think Sienna did a good job of making sure, like, Backs couldn't come in and just kill things, because, like, this moveset is killer. I think, like, the Icicle Sphere, like, Earthquake Glaive Rush, if Sienna let me get, like, 2 DDs up, like, that's, like, a almost, like, instant turbo win, because that, like, kills everybody in the game. It's, like, fucked up. Especially when I was running Adamant on it, like, oof. Oh, I forgot about Cloister's, like, Speed IV. I didn't go full max on it. I mean, like, 16 special defense isn't making a huge difference. But I was trying to remember what I was trying to speed tier it against, and I think it was the Scarf Blaze. I tried to speed it so, like, no matter what, it would still be, like, faster than Blaze, and then after that I was like, okay, these, like, last few, like, EVs do not fucking matter. Because as long as I'm outspeeding that, it's fine. So after one Shell Smash, I would have outspeeded. That, I remember that. Ninetales, I ended up going with Nasty Plot this time, and again, it didn't really show up in the game, but I probably think that's better than, like, the other shit I've been running on it, because Ninetales is a little scary to deal with. I mean, Ice Fairy Stab is a little frightening. I mean, Steel types think it's cool. Like, Scizor would have seen it and been like, hi, what's up? But for a lot of other Pokemon, like, Ice Fairy is, like, annoying to deal with, and, like, Ninetales has a decent speed tier. I don't think Ninetales would have been a win condition, especially with the Blaze, but it could have been funny. It could have been funny. I think it makes more sense than, like, at the end of the day, like, I don't know. Ninetales is the Aurora Veil setter. But I kind of...
It might as well have the option to click something that, like, might make it do stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And here it is, the 4th time I've brought the same Skeledirge. I hope you guys are excited about Dirge. Hope you guys are fucking excited about it. And he's gonna be coming back for the next match too, probably. Honestly. Like...
Shout out to Dirge.
Shouts out to Dirge. I ended up bringing, like, the Dirge, like, Tusk, King, like, combo, just because it was, like, I don't know, it's, like, all reliable a little bit. It probably wasn't that good into the team that Sienna had, but it was, like, it was easy to build with, and, I don't know. I had funny tech on Great Tusk. I ran Stone Edge instead of, like, Headlong Rush, specifically because I was like, okay, I'm gonna lead Great Tusk, Sienna is gonna lead Talonflame, and I'm gonna click Stone Edge and it'll be funny. That did not happen. But if it did happen, it would have been funny as fuck. But yeah, I wanted Tusk to get rid of that, because I wanted to have, like, I wanted to get I wanted to get rid of what would have been, like, Sienna's taunt user. I did not want to deal with the taunt user. That's also why I made Great Tusk Assault Vest, because I was like, I just need to get rid of this taunt. Please, God, just let me get rid of this pitch.
Yeah.
The Nostalgia Critic with the Cassette Berry was meant to take a hit from Blaze. I didn't end up going that way, but that's okay. I kind of think I should have brought Flamethrower instead of Psyshock for Scizor. Like, thinking about it, like, I really should have. I don't know what I was thinking of doing Psyshock for. Because honestly, it doesn't pair that well into Sienna's roster. I don't know, I guess I was worried about Rotom. I think that's probably what I was worried about, was Rotom. But Scizor is nothing to fuck with. Scizor is a fucked up guy.
Yeah. Right.
Despite the fact that I didn't really use, I didn't use this team to its fullest. I think I was cooking a little bit. Yeah, I probably should have just brought Flamethrower instead of Calm Mind, maybe, but it's okay. It's okay.
Yeah. Anyways, I'll talk about my team real quick. Lace was, Flamethrower Shadow Ball Mind Blown. Mind Blown was there because it was the only way I could guarantee an Oko versus Ninetales. Scarfed Lace was like versus like max HP Ninetales. And so I brought Mind Blown. I didn't want to bring Overheat because it was I don't like the accuracy, and also I think it still didn't quite kill. Like, I think I actually needed Mind Blown's power. Of course, they didn't really end up, like, I don't know, that situation didn't end up happening, but I was, like, I led Scarf Blaze because of the situation. I was just terrified of immediate Aurora Veil and me just, like, losing the game. And also, wait, I do want to say, like, yeah, Eve was saying, like, yeah, there was a secret group chat that was me and Eve and Hazel, that was just me trying to desperately asking them, please help me beat Morgan, I'm so scared. And so I genuinely prepped for this for, like, a very long time. But yeah, it was mind blown to kill the Ninetales, basically, and just keep Veil from going up, which, you know, it's not what happened, but it's whatever. Scarf Blaze was also just a good bleed against most of the roster, but I didn't want to keep it in against Tusk. I didn't want to keep it in against a few things, but there were a couple things I wanted to. Akaberry Rose Raid, it was timid, like, max speed for something, 60 special attack to, or not max speed, 232 speed for, I think for Tusk, yeah. And then it's 60 special attack. The idea was basically to set up hazards on, like, Dirge, and then if I could lure in Tusk, then I would outspeed an Oko with Grass Knot. And then I could, like, and then Toxic Spikes could be kind of a win condition for me. It turned out that Tusk was, that I just had the, I ended up in the Crawdaunt scenario, but you know, it could have been it could have happened, and also it wouldn't have worked because it was AV Tusk, which I didn't expect, but you know, whatever. It worked out overall. Caesar was pretty fucking like normal bulky Caesar. Really SD like the idea is basically just like if I get like an SD into clicking bullet punch a bunch like late game, then I could probably win the game. Which didn't really happen, but he made some progress. He killed Bloking, which is nice. But yeah. Not that complicated. Needed all the physical bulk it could get to just take things from like backs and stuff, which I was scared of. Rotom pretty similar. This is a pretty bog standard Rotom. Hazard removal, burn spreader, etc. Pivot. I wasn't really scared of any special stuff on Morgan's team, so I didn't really bring any special bulk other than Roserade, who is kind of just naturally specially bulky. Talonflame was to be the fast taunt user plus like late game like revenge killer plus pivot plus it walls all non rock slide Mawwiles. The like spread was so that I think like rock slide after roost. If I roosted to lose flying type, then I wouldn't die from rock slide, and then I could switch out into something else. To deal with Mawile. Overheat because it hit some benchmark that I don't really remember anymore. Etc. And then this fucking Crawdaunt's goofy as fuck. He didn't really. You could be fooled into thinking that was choice band Crawdaunt. No, it was covert cloak. Which I basically was just like, I don't want Life Orb because I want to be able to set up Dragon Dance. Okay, this was the thought process. I was really scared of Why Not. And Why Not did not show up, but I was really scared of Why Not. And so I brought Covert Cloak, Dragon Dance, Crawdaunt, so that because I was like, okay, if I have Life Orb, it's going to reveal that I'm not choice banned if I come in and revenge kill something with Aqua Jet or whatever. And so what I was thinking is basically, okay, Why Not will come in on Crawdaunt if it's like not if it's not Life Orb, like thinking that it's banded because it'll have just revenge killed something, and then I can click Dragon Dance like a billion times on Why Not. And then I went with Covert Cloak so that it could switch into Slowking Scalds. And like click Dragon Dance on those. Yeah. 76, 180 speed Jolly was for, was to speed creep, like, Oricorio at +1, so I'd be faster than Oricorio at +1. And, yeah, that was, like, basically that. Dragon Dance Crawdaunt's really funny, but really, this Crawdaunt only clicked Crabhammer this game, but, I mean, it cooked. We love Crawdaunt. But that's basically the team. More or less.
Oh fuck! I didn't say either our favorite Pokemon. I forgot about the new segment. My favorite Pokemon that I brought this game. It's Dirge again. Let's go. 4th time in a row. It's Dirge. Let's fucking go. Holy shit! Did you hear that? That was the loudest thunder I've ever heard in my damn life. That, like, actually rocked my world. I saw it, like, flash inside my house. God damn. That was Dirge. That was Dirge coming from the heavens.
But yeah, yeah. Anyways, let's fucking pull up, my favorite Pokemon on my team wait, did you say your favorite Pokemon on my team yet? What's your favorite Pokemon that I had? Wait. Fuck. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, we had to make sure real quick that the lightning outside didn't, like, set something on fire, because, like,
oh god,
that's how loud it was.
Jesus.
Okay. It
Okay.
was like a bomb going off.
Great. Let's pull it up. And let's pull up WAFFLOES. Hazel. WAFFLOES has to leave.
Well, hold on. My favorite Pokemon on your team is Methed Up Samurai. There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. WAFFLOES probably has to leave pretty soon. WAFFLOES, if you want to type like any of your notes, if you have to like leave soon and you like need to type like your notes like on your team like in the chat, then like I can read them off later. But yeah, let's just get through this replay and see what happens. A little tighter on time, but should be good. I would click fast on this just because it's kind of a long game, or you can start in normal, but I would move to fast. This is a funny replay. Yeah. Faye did say, "Oh baby, oh baby." Yeah. Yeah. The Screamtail takes a sleep there, but it kind of still gets to like be Screamtail and like do Screamtail stuff. The Fire Blast doesn't quite work, and the Whirlwind. This is kind of a gutsy roost on the Sylveon, but it works out. It is just Hyper Voice, so kind of just keep roosting. We have Toxic Rock, and this segment's pretty fucking fat. It kind of puts in work. It clicks the Ice Punch on the guy, but it doesn't fully kill. But oh, and the cheese. But you know, don't worry, he pulls it out. Scrum gets up more spikes, and it's really not taking much damage from the Facade. Notably, Facade isn't boosted by sleep. It's only like burn, poison, paralysis. So
Game Freak lie.
but it's actually power up punch, fucking Snorlax. But it's still kind of doing jack shit. With its moves. Oh, it's like okay, bye, bro. Thanks to Ironhead, just roosts on it. Back to full health. This fucking Skarmory is on the brink of death, but it's still fucking pulling it out. And
here comes Skarmory with a steel chair.
Yeah. You can click Hyperfast for a little bit if you want.
Alright.
The same thing happens for a while. Whirlwind, 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 dipping down the Snorlax.
This
Whirlwind.
Skarmory is insane.
Whirlwind. Okay, you can turn it back to normal now. So yeah, this is fucking actually secretly bulk up Corv, and it can no longer be whirlwinded. No Scald Burn. It's gonna click that body press, and suddenly this game that looked like a 6-0, the overheat does not kill. Roosts on it. Full switch is out of there, but it's doing jack shit. This is like Spadef or clearly. It bulk ups again on the fucking stream tail. Badass power trip.
This is wild.
Chips it a little bit with the ice beam, but nope. Starmie comes in, clicks the T-Bolt, gets the chip in there, and then gets some more.
This Corviknight is going wild though.
But unfortunately, overheat does end the reign of terror, but that fucking bulk up power trip Corviknight nearly turned a 6-0 into a fucking, like, it turned nearly a 6-0 into a 3-0. And if that overheat had missed, his probably would have lost the game.
This was like
So,
this was the game of the Steel Birds. This belonged to them.
Yeah. But yeah. Really fucking funny.
WAFFLOES has to leave in like a minute. We have to do a speed round.
Here, okay. I'm gonna bring WAFFLOES in, and I'm just gonna add. WAFFLOES, if you have any words at all, in the time that you have, if you have any words of wisdom.
Yeah, we're gonna do a speedrun real quick. I just assumed putting a bunch of special attack shit into Tyranitar would have killed the Skarm, and that I would have won then. But even max special attack Mega T-Tar does not kill Skarm, because Skarm is fucking crazy. And that kind of like, I think, I should have. I think my moveset choices this match were a little wonky. I thought Facade got boosted by sleep. I learned that like just 2 minutes ago. So it was also to like absorb like Toxic or Will-O-Wisp from the Rotom too, because I kind of matched up poorly against that. Garchomp kind of sucked this match. I put Ironhead on there for like Scream Tail. I should have gone like Stone Edge or like again like another fire move for that. Breloom had Pounce, Technician boosted Pounce in case like Starmie wanted to switch in, or like Serena. so that I could outspeed in the killable seed. I don't think it would have outsped it anyway, but it is what it is. I think I could have run like a standard bulky defog roost Corv, but I think I'm really glad I decided to go with the sweeper Corv because it was a lot funnier. I feel like I would have done worse with it, honestly, even if it did mean losing the spikes. The guitar was also with Pursuit and Dark Pulse was to go through Mega Bana if that was brought, so that Snorlax could sweep with fucking Sod Power Up Punch with the Z Sleep Talk, but
yeah,
not my best set, not my best cook, and Sylveon had a Shadow Ball for Screamtail, but I think it would have beat it without the Ghost move, so that was kind of a fumble, and it was specifically EV'd to live Spec Starmie, Psyshock, and Hydro Pump, so that's why it's got some wonky Fizz Def and special defense, but none of that really mattered because I just got swept by spikes anyway. I thought about having boots on something, but I think it is better that I didn't run them because it just meant that Corv got to stand and sweep a little bit. Maybe I couldn't gotten lucky against the Starmie. Maybe I could have roosted some more, but I was just too scared of the para. I think there are little things I could have done to make this a bit more favorable for me, but this was already a really tough match to plan for. So
yeah.
Good fucking game to Hazel. This was a really fun match, and I've learned a lot from this first loss of mine.
Oh, all right. Good luck.
I gotta go.
Warrior.
Oh shit. Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Yep.
Okay. Yep. Okay. Okay.
Get out of here!
Bring Hazel. Let's bring Hazel in here.
Yo.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm also just gonna, because I know WAFFLOES was in a hurry, and they said something that might have been read as confusing if you didn't see the context they gave in chat a couple days ago. The special Tyranitar being for, Bayonet, they said was in case of Cotton Guard Bayonet.
Yeah.
Which is something I had never even, remotely put into my brain. So...
WAFFLOES exists on another plane sometimes.
Yeah. I can't bring that anymore. Because I don't have Bayonet anymore. Thank fucking God. I hate that thing. I love it, but good lord, it's bad.
Shadow Claw is not a good move.
Shadow Claw is a really bad move.
It's actually worse than fucking it's worse than Wild Charge, which is how you know it's bad.
Yeah, yeah, and I saw earlier, Dusknoir is not the strongest thing in the world, but its Poltergeist is still stronger than Mega Bandit's base 165 attack Shadow Claw. It's even if it's leftovers Dusknoir, it's anyway, to talk about the things that are on my team. I had Rotom Heat, Chandler Bing, that was well, no, I did pick Dusclops. I decided against Dusknoir, because it's bad. I had Defog this time on Rotom Heat, because I put Recover instead of Rapid Spin on Starmie, basically just because I felt like it. I didn't have like a grander reason. Yeah, if you look on the calc, it does like 3% more.
Dusk Noir.
Dusk Noir.
Yeah, no. Dusclops, but I wouldn't be surprised if Dusclops was still only like similar.
It's probably worse. Base 70 attack is really...
Yeah, anyway, I'll calc it, don't worry.
Yeah.
But,
so yeah, I had
talk about your team.
Will-O-Wisp for, so let me bring up WAFFLOES Pokemon. I mean, Will-O-Wisp is just generally a good move. It burned the Snorlax, which ended up giving it a better facade, so... Oops. But, I mean, yeah, it was mostly for Garchomp and Tyranitar, which again, Tyranitar ended up being special, which was funny. And, yeah, scary. I'm glad that Skarmory didn't get, like, burned. Or crit, or 6.3%ed, because it had, like... Fire Blast did have the smallest chance possible to one-shot, although sturdy still, so I guess it didn't actually one-shot ever. Skarmory was the Skarmory I've brought every time. I initially had Body Press so that I could have a better matchup against Tyranitar, but then I just started bringing a bunch of stuff that like Starmie and Seismitoad that did awful things to Tyranitar, so I went with Brave Bird for Breloom instead.
Okay, sorry, interruption. The Dusclops Poltergeist is still only like 4% weaker than Bayonet Shadowclaw.
God. Yeah. Let's see, Rotom he outspeeds something, I don't know. I don't know. I don't remember. Bisharp is normal, Skarmory is normal. Starmie is pretty normal. Starmie again just had like a lot of good matchups. It could click its Ice Beam against Garchomp. It could click its Hydro Pump against Tyranitar. It could Thunderbolt Corviknight and Gyarados. Ice Beam Breloom. It just hit a lot of things really hard. Seismitoad, there was originally, like, some really specific reason I brought it, but, I mean, it just has, like, some good matchups. It matched up against Tyranitar. Seismitoad, I spent a while cooking on, and ended up with max physical defense Assault Vest, which is just a really fun spread to bring, and ended up owning Tyranitar with its Assault Vest. Oh yeah! That's right, the first iteration of this team I had, I originally had Kingler here, and then my team ended up being really electric weak, so I wanted to bring my ground type, but then I was, like, scared of Energy Ball Galvantula. But Assault Vest lets it live that. And I guess click Earthquake. I'm not sure what it would do, like, after that. And I don't know. Rotom also just kind of walls Galvantula, so it wasn't. I mean, I guess it's good to have secondary things to check something that my team has a really big weakness to. Like, again, if Bisharp was, or if King Gambit was Kingler instead, then that's just like really bad against Thunder Spam.
Yeah.
Screamtail was, I mean, Wish and Stealth Rock have been on like every Screamtail ever that I've brought. Trick Room was there just for shits and giggles. I guess it could have been Protect.
Yeah.
Because it's really just King Gambit.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, Trick Room King Gambit is really fucking scary. So
Yep.
Because of that, I discussed, because I was very scared of this matchup against this, like, you know, opponent that had not lost and has consistently brought really scary sets and just had overpowering wins. So I was discussing this team for a while with Sienna and Eve. There was a lot of discussion on what offensive move for Screamtail to bring. Initially between Play Rough and Dazzling Gleam, because even though it's like probably not gonna click offensive moves, it's just like, oh, either one has its benefits, and then we landed on Ice Beam eventually just because it did like 70% to Garchomp and still hit Breloom, even though it made the Tyranitar matchup worse, but it wasn't doing much offensively to that either. It really just wanted to wait and get out of there. Those physical defense for Tyranitar and Breloom was speed for, I don't know, Garchomp probably. Yeah. In the end game, if I had known that thing was bulk up earlier, which I probably, if I had sat there and thought about it for a while, like thought about the reasons that thing wouldn't have defog, and did have body press, body press, I was like, oh, that's for King Gambit. But if I had thought for a while about the possible reasons that it didn't have defog, I probably could have remembered, oh yeah, that thing runs bulk up sometimes, and then I could have burned it earlier.
Yeah.
Which would have probably helped my differential a lot, but I mean, I won in the end, and it caused a really funny, memorable moment.
Yeah.
But yeah, I enjoyed clicking Whirlwind 13 times in a row. That match.
Shouts out Skarmory. Still the fucking boss.
Skarmory is just a good Pokemon.
For fucking real.
Yeah, 15 Whirlwinds total. I was just like, when it was just down to Corviknight, I was just like, oh, awesome, I can just PP stall this thing and have an even stupider game. And then it clicked bulk up, and that was scary. And then Overheat did 59%, and that was scary. Corviknight is also a good Pokemon.
Fucking notably.
Yeah, I think that's about it on this team. Oh, Seismitoad had minus special attack Scald instead of Liquidation, because Earthquake did literally everything Liquidation would want to do, so
yeah.
Burn chance, good.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
That's it.
It's your time.
Mm-hmm.
Pull up. Let's pull up another babble here. Let's pull up. What should we pull up? Let's pull up. Trying to think about who's here in the audience here to talk about their encounters.
Oh, favorite Mons! Oh my god, thank you for reminding me of the best segment. Favorite guy on... This is kind of obvious, actually. This is kind of obvious for both of them. It's obviously, like, Corviknight and Scarfy.
It's the birds, bruh.
It's the birds. Like, they did, like, the birds alone did, like, 90% of that entire battle.
Scarfy got 5 kills.
And then Corviknight almost got the complete reverse sweep. If, like you said, if that overheat missed, like, it would have happened. It would have actually happened, and it would have been fucking insane.
Utterly. Alright, yeah, let's pull up, I think let's pull up that,
That's the wrong... I didn't mean to click that.
Let's pull up that, about that, I'm like stroking my chin. Let's pull up that mic, that Ray mic, situation. Let's get it pulled up here.
Oh, this is the first time we're gonna get to hear, Mike's theme.
Yep. Alright. Yeah, so yeah, like...
Oh my god, the Burger Boys versus Germa.
I love the Burger Boy.
Germa being taken out by his own creations. Yeah, this is like ultimate, like, Germa lorehead battle.
Yeah, the fucking Overclock just eats shit on its Earth power. There's a story to that, but we'll get to it. And then this eats shit on it because, it was Scarf. Whoa, it was Scarf the whole time.
Fooled you. Tricked you.
The Affinity forces it out. At least improves that hazard situation, but, yeah. Takes a Poltergeist that it didn't really want to take. And then Treads eats shit, and then doesn't kill with Ice Spinner, but at least the Poltergeist misses.
This is officially the most that Iron Treads has done in any of these battles. Iron Treads has done, like, fuck all in any of these other battles. At least Iron Treads got off damage.
So, we have a bit of an oopsie moment here. If the Moonblast doesn't kill, and then Contrary gives it a +1 special attack, yeah. So it drops that Burger Boy there. Decides to leave against the Beedrill, because actually the Moonblast wouldn't have killed. Beedrill dips out. Latios comes in, but takes more than is, like, probably ideal from the U-turn, and then it's forced to click Draco. Switches out of the fucking... Just out of the fucking Gligar. quickly drops a knock there, but another rocks her up. Another U-turn, real quick, and then the mystical fire drops the man on mind on the guy, but unfortunately, yeah, it's just over. Scarf Enamorous is really good.
Yeah, Enamorous is like fucked up, bruh. This dude's good as fuck.
Yeah. I did almost put that guy in tier 2. Sorry, but well, it's not. I'm not sorry. I mean, I put it in. It ended up in its right spot. But yeah. You want to let's pull up we can talk about Mike's sheet first. I'll pull in Mike, and I'll pull in Hazel too if she wishes to speak on it as well. Hazel's Mike's fucking boss.
Basically,
Mike's official boss.
She is my employer.
Yeah.
I'm back.
Yeah.
So yeah, very, very happy with that game. The fact that Namorous was able to kill the entire team is great. I also am very proud of myself because, Hazel, I don't know if you recall, I said, like, I have a feeling Ray knows that Delmise is my spinner and is a perfect counter to his rapid spin. He's probably going to put an ice move on Iron Treads, and I knew I was right.
I thought it was going to be knockoff. I thought it was going to be knockoff for sure. And that is why you can see one kind of glaring thing on this sheet, which is that Delmise does not have an item.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was a fun little idea that Hazel had. And I also just want to mention, you could probably see during the fight where I had like a brain fart and brought in Iron Moth against Beedrill, even though I knew that Beedrill had Drill Run, and that's why the sudden switch back to Gligar.
I did warn him in advance. This thing has Drill Run. Watch the fuck out. And he remembered. I'm proud of him.
I also should mention I almost had a choke moment because my brain was like, sending in Enamorous against Latios was like, Enamorous has so little HP, I can use Healing Wish to fully heal Delmise. And thankfully snapped out of that before choking and losing. I will say I was a little sad that I was not able to get Excelgor to pop off.
Yeah, that Excelgor set was all Mike. Was cool.
I did fuck up and did not give it enough speed EVs because I was like, it's already so fast, and like the one thing I wanted it to be good at dealing with, Latios, was faster. But yeah, I found out that I had Water Shuriken for that priority water move, and I was like, oh my god, if I can get a kill on Hisuian Arcanine with that, I will be set.
Yeah, that's the agility Arcanine insurance there.
Yeah. And also just, the Bug Buzz.
An accurate move against Rockfire.
Yeah. Focus Blast from Newbie as well. Excelgor gets surprisingly nice coverage. Gligar is what you would expect. Immunity, obviously, because of Overquill.
And Beedrill.
Iron Moth with Life Orb just to give it some more damaging power, and I think we put agility on it just so that it could. It could clean up against like Beedrill and Latios. Yeah, and we put defense EVs on it solely because we, as a way for it to deal with Hisui and Lilligant.
Lilligant, yeah. It was sort of like the suited like Bell's Delphox. It just has the type that walls everything Lilligant does.
Yeah, and I think we did the calc and like with those defense EVs. I forget if it was a victory dance plus close combat or just a close combat, but it would allow it to survive and shoot back.
I think it did survive +1 close combat, maybe.
Who survived it? The Tiger?
Moth.
No, Iron Moth.
Moth.
With the-
Oh,
250
funny Moth.
defense.
Oh yeah, wait. I'm looking at this now. Yeah. Oh god, that's so funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Dazzling Gleam.
Yeah, again, that 252 defense was kind of inspired by Bell's Delphox.
Yeah.
Let's see. Hisui and Samurott, mostly the same. We put Aerial Ace on there because one of these days I will be able to finally kill fighting type.
Yeah, the second time in a row there was a 4x weak to flying.
But it didn't show.
But yeah, it didn't show, and also just like, when do you not click Ceaseless Edge?
Very rarely.
Yeah.
Very rarely. Delmise.
I wonder if that would have killed Feeny when those two were both out.
That's a good question. Not sure. But let's see, and then and Amorous with the choice scarf just to let it go fast. And
it did everything. It clicked
really
all three
did.
of its moves and killed literally everything.
yeah, there was it's I think the point when Arcanine came out, I like was just sitting there like but Ray just saw me use Earth Power. Why would Arcanine come out? And I was like trying to think through my head like, oh my god, does Ray have some like counter tech? Does he know something I don't know? And then I was like,
special bulk Shuckaberry Arcanine.
and then I was like, wait a minute. Does he not know that does he think I don't have Scarf? And I was like, okay, screw it. And that led to that. Which was a very...
Yeah, Scarf wasn't really revealed yet, so it was like, yeah, like it was Scarf Arcanine. And it was there to check Scarf. It was there to check non-Scarf and Amorous, and well...
oh no.
Well, it was Scarf and Amorous.
Yeah.
Oh, also,
yeah.
Sorry, just another quick little thing. You'll notice like the team's labeled as Serious Team. The reason why is because at this point I was desperate to try and put Shuckle on a team and use it somehow, and so like I contrived some weird like harassment like loadout for Shuckle. Yeah, where it's like utilizing I think it was like Power Split.
Yeah.
Like utilizing Power Split and like sticky webs and knockoff to like try and use it. But I was just like, you know, at this point I want to win. I want to try winning. I just did not have faith in it, so
Yeah, you showed me a very incomplete team.
yeah.
That, it also had Executor over Enamorous.
Yeah, and Amorous is not on that team, so that
Yeah, so Enamorous and Delmise were both missing from the other team.
I thought it was Enamorous and
I'm looking at it right now. It's Samurott, Shuckle, Excalibur, Gligar, Iron Moth, Executor.
oh, okay, yeah.
And half of them don't have any moves to put on them.
Yeah, so that's why that's like a serious team.
Sticky Web, Knockoff, Power Split, and Encore on Shuckle.
Really good. Yeah. That about covers it.
Yeah, at least for me.
I'm trying to think of any like goofy turns. No, I Mike kind of like realized the power of U-turn here.
Yeah.
And Roostless Gligar ended up just being good.
So bulky.
Yeah. Like, there was a point in the middle of the match where I'm like, oh no, we forgot to put Roost on it, and then I'm like, wait, it just straight up doesn't need it.
Alright. Thanks both of your time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wait. Alright. I think let's pull up or wait, we gotta pull up Ray. Lol. Fucking lol.
Oh,
I'm
right.
like
Wait.
I'm a forgetful.
Heartbroken that you
Flamer.
forgot.
Alright.
But,
Great.
yeah. So, I definitely made some mishaps that game.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, also, Morgan, what was your favorite Mon-Up magazine?
What do you
Yeah.
think? What do you think? We have too many, like, clean sweeps. We have too
Yeah.
many clean sweeps.
Self-evident gamers.
I don't know. I think, it's definitely not Iron Moth, because it's not porked up White Boy anymore.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm giving it to Germa. Shout out to Germa.
Honestly, Germa like is the thing that kept this game together in like a lot of ways. Like
Truly.
the Enamorous would not have been able to do that much damage otherwise.
Literally.
But yeah.
So, like, obviously I had a very big misplay this game, not being able to deal with Scarf and Amorous, because that was a very good counter to my team. I was also just in a weird situation. First of all, I do want to talk about why I kept Overquill in. I looked at the calc, and for some reason it said that even Specs and Amorous wouldn't do half to Overquill with Earth Power, so I was like, oh, okay, I'll keep it in. And it turns out that's not the case, and I just accidentally had Aurora Veil on in the calc for some reason.
Yeah. Very unfortunate moment.
Either way, I don't know how much Overquill was going to do that game. So, like,
Yeah.
I was kind of in a weird situation where if I knew it was just like a choice item in general, I could have switched in Latios, but switching in Latios there is too dangerous if it's not choice.
Yeah. For sure.
And I also had no idea it was Scarf, so I thought Scarf Hark would be like the counter there. It was not.
Yeah.
It was definitely not.
Yeah.
And just in general, Hark being like my only priority on this team, definitely kind of... It's probably the best priority on my roster, period.
Yeah.
That, like, not having access to extreme speed late game, I probably could have gone better if I had that.
Yeah. You know, there were a couple like little mistakes, just like not like I don't know. There were like situations where Pedro probably could have come in for free, but I don't know. Fundamentally, I think the issue ended up being with this game just that like there was no rocks to keep the Enamorous from running over, and that is part of why this formative experience is part of why you got Nihiliga. Really.
Yeah.
You
Also,
just
getting rid
need-
of Overquill is like...
Yeah.
Overquill,
Yeah.
I like, spikes and T-spikes on that. That doesn't
Yeah.
always do a lot versus a lot of rosters.
Yeah.
Rocks
Like-
are a lot more consistent, and also Nihiligo does just get T-spikes, and also
Yeah.
like every other move. I do have to give up having a Ghost Resist, though, along with just Overquill's pretty solid physical bulk with Intimidate. But I think it's a good trade.
Yeah, overall, like, yeah, I don't know. Rocks are just so big for making progress.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Offensive treads, that was your suggestion. I don't think it was a bad choice. It just, like, I think I sort of misutilized it a bit.
Yeah, and I think it just, I don't know. It didn't work that well in the matchup. Overall, like, it just ended up being kind of weird for the matchup. Like, the fact that it was, like, Scarf and Amorous was just kind of really bad in general for the matchup.
Even with AV, it just like...
Yeah.
Something really funny. I was talking with Sienna before the match about whether I wanted like Life Orb or Expert Belt on CM Latios, and I was like, well, if I want this thing out late game, I don't know if longevity is a big issue, but I think that even if it hadn't been for Scarf and Amorous, Life Orb would have like killed it before it could sweep in the end of that game. So that's funny.
Sometimes you just get pwned by saying something. Yeah, you had the Finny. That's a pretty normal Finny.
Yeah, pretty like standard Finny.
Yeah, what was the defense investment for? Was it just like, do you remember?
That's a good question. It was probably for like probably was for stuff like being able to wall like Samurai or Metagross a bit better. Maybe,
yeah,
like,
it's probably
taking a hit from Delmise.
Yeah, it's probably some fucking some number. Yeah. At the Overquill, I think also like fairly self-explanatory. It was 196 speed. That's probably.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's for like probably for like most Samurai sets, and also like maybe Bulu also, but like Bulu wasn't really gonna come in this matchup.
Yeah, like max speed Metagross maybe, something like that.
Yeah, also just extremely normal Beedrill set. You can't get a more normal Beedrill set than that one.
You can't. There's not that many Beedrill sets in the world.
Yeah, well, stay tuned.
But
That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, and then the kind of unfortunate arc.
Tragic tale of Scarf Hark.
Yeah, it was there to check Namorous with Head Smash, and it was Scarf and Namorous who had lost to it.
That's how it happens sometimes.
Yeah, unfortunately. But it's like, you know, it's fine. Yeah, kind of under prepping for the Enamorous ended up being kind of a problem. That thing's just a fucking threat and a half.
Yeah. Like the Moonblast, the special attack raise ended up not meaning much. It was really funny.
It was really funny and really scary for a second.
I like didn't run any of the Beedrill calcs. I was fully convinced I just lost the game there.
I also was before I did the calcs, and I was like, well, actually, Beedrill's only a little made out of paper.
Yeah, more on the physical side.
Yeah.
Like I remember I said this before. I just assume that Beedrill dies if you sneeze on it.
Yeah. Yeah. Any like final thoughts?
Nothing much I haven't really already said. I do think, this is something we talked about. I think it's funny that like I beat Hazel and then you, which were like two difficult matchups for me, and immediately lost to like your proteges.
Yeah. Yeah, we both got revenge.
Yep.
But
this week I think I could put out a good showing and fry some fish. So.
Yeah. Well, some fish to fry. All right.
And,
thanks for your time.
And my favorite Pokemon of this roster, it's gotta be Burger Boy.
Wait, which one?
That's a good pick.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's pull up Tristana. In my opinion. In my friggin' opinion. I'd rather get it out of the way sooner, just because Australia time like vexes me. And I don't understand it, and I don't know. I know logically what time it is there, but I'm not confident.
Wait, does Tristana not have a battle theme yet?
Tristana does not have a battle theme yet. I guess we can play. Well, Tristana like. Trying to mention one. Do you want to play Tristana? Do you want to just play Homesuit Grave, or do you want to like play Bell's theme, or what do you? How do you feel on the issues? You're in the chat room. It's your choice. I know that was what you were talking about, like in your. Okay, play that. So this was like at least the battle theme that was in the running. That was most in the running. So we'll pull it up.
Mm-hmm.
I'll place it here. You can just place it here in the MFL General channel.
I already got it pulled up. It's fine.
Right. Yeah. So yeah, we gotta.
Guess which clown decided to show up again? Enamorous.
An amorous different type.
This fool again.
It's
okay, this Enamorous got owned.
Stayed in on the Toys jab, which I don't know why she did that, but whatever. And I don't know why she did that. Yeah. Fucking.
Excadrill is having so much fun clicking Poison Jab right now.
It does die though. To the move.
It takes a little bit,
To
but...
the Earthquake move. Yeah, and then this was a moment. Hidden Powers banned. We decided to let it play out because it didn't fucking do anything, and then Bell stays in on the grass move anyways. But the Delphox gets the setup. Nasty Plot, Flamethrower, and then a quick Psychic.
Oof.
But unfortunately.
But here comes Tauros with a steel chair.
Unfortunately, that's Scarf Tauros. Unfortunately, everything is chipped.
It just clicks buttons. Holy shit. Unfortunately, your mother.
Yeah. But yeah, that was Tauros's debut. Tristana's debut as well. Tauros's final finest hour, finalist hour.
What is this article that like popped up when I opened this? Biden's woke housing plan for us all. They're making houses woke. You can't have anything in America anymore. What the hell's going on?
Yeah.
Sorry, that distracted the fuck out of me. Not that I've had much to say this week anyways, because nothing was going on for me.
Yeah.
But just like, fuck, dude.
Alright, let's invite Tristana in here. For the first time. Tristana's debut in the channel, in the chat room.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe even Tristana has the first woke team.
Wait, speak of it.
I mean, Tristana's kind of got the girl with Enamorous, which is
I don't know.
Like
I don't even know.
feminism.
I don't even know how you join a stage. I've only hosted stages. There we go.
I had it open in pop-out, but the join was on the actual app, which is really funny.
Okay.
So My team is a mess, for one.
Yeah.
Um,
There's some
I-
goofy stuff.
I don't. I haven't done proper competitive in singles since Gen 6.
Yeah.
And, anything I have done has been in double since. And that's not that much in that either way.
Yeah.
So I went into this, I looked at Bell's roster, and I was immediately terrified by Hatron and Meowscarada, which I hadn't done Gen 9 competitive yet, but I've heard that Meowscarada is an absolute menace, and it's faster than everything on my roster, and Hatron's just a trick room monster. So you'll notice that on my team, I've kind of gone half and half with my speed tiers.
Yeah.
Where I've said, okay, just in case trick room craziness happens, I've got the trick room stuff.
Yeah.
And otherwise, I've got faster things that hopefully won't die immediately.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah. You have the Tangrowth. The kind of unfortunate hidden power mishap, but it was chill.
Yeah, I think the last couple weeks I've been kind of sleep deprived, and my sleep's just not been any good. So building this set, I've been like, yes, I'll put the hidden power ice in because it's good coverage against the grass types that might show up. I'm not allowed to do that, so that's unfortunate. Other than that, the Tangrowth kind of acted as, I guess, just a general wall. It's just a general defensive Rocky Helmet Tangrowth.
Yeah. Fat regenerator guy. Always nice.
Yeah, always fun. I don't think I got Regenerator working, but...
And your second fat regenerator guy is not a fat regenerator guy at all. What's this merciless business?
I wanted to make it work, and it didn't.
Merciless Pex is very funny. I think it's something that technically can work in draft because it's like it's draft. You can always find a way to run a certain set, but
yeah,
this is just kind of.
I would have been better at running it regenerator and better like defensive spread. Because whenever I'm not sure what to do for a defensive spread, I'm just like half and half in both, baby.
Yeah.
Then I've got my Excadrill, which was one of my candidates for anti-Meowscarada stuff. I ended up putting that on Tauros, but Excadrill was just a kind of be fast, have... it was a suicide lead kind of situation. I don't remember if I led with it, but it was meant to be just get in, stealth rock, do damage, and if it dies, then that's what it's lived to be.
Yeah. I noticed. I know you did mention you forgot that Ironhead would beat the fairies, so you just kind of had Poison Jab on there.
It did. Because the mentality I had for that was just they've got grass types. I'm gonna have a Poison Jab.
Yeah, it did hit the grass types, to be fair, but yeah, it was pretty funny.
Whenever I go into team building, I kind of enter a weird state of mind where I overthink yet underthink everything. So I kind of end up with nothing. Aside from Excadrill's pretty bog standard. My Enamorus, who died immediately to a poison wave. I was not expecting to die to a poison wave, but that's because I didn't click Calm Mind, I think.
Yeah. And you were slower anyways, so...
I was slower, yeah.
Yeah, fucking Tier Force Yoku is serious business. But yeah, you had this kind of crit me not, just kind of like Calm Mind Iron Defense, just kind of like, fuck you, I'm not gonna die deal.
Yeah. I
was the
enjoy
attempt.
having a thing like that, and Calm Mind is a nice move. So
Yeah.
Again, bog standard kind of Pokemon. Nothing much to go on with Enamorus. My Charizard set is like half baked because I went into it thinking, yes, I'll make it a mixed attacker, and then later on I decided to make it a physical attacker, and I forgot to change its stats and nature. So it ended up just being a little clunky stat-wise. And it didn't do much anyway, I think, if I remember correctly. I think it just came in and died immediately because Stones was up. And Charizard X is a Pokemon I'm not too familiar with using either way. I'm a Y user, but Y is not what I have, so...
Yep.
And I'll leave Tauros for a moment. One of the things I was doing for my team in general, because I have... This is my first draft league, so I don't really know what to do to approach team building against a certain roster. So I just kind of said, okay, I'm going to do my core, and then I said, because one of my core Pokemon is Fire Dragon, I'm going to do another core as well.
Yeah.
And so I've just got 2 triple type cores going, which is also part of why when I had my free agent trades for subbing in, I took Enamorus Therian, 1 because I wanted to try and use it, 2 because it's a nice fairy type that can switch in. So there's that.
Yeah.
And then Tauros is the Pokemon I made specifically because I was terrified of the existence of Meowscarada.
Yeah.
It is just enough speed to outspeed non-scarfed Jolly max speed Meowscarada.
Yeah.
And other than that, it's big defense, big attack. I probably should have given an anger point.
I did.
Yeah, you did mention that, but I forgot Flower Trick was guaranteed crit, so
yeah,
I just didn't do that.
I thought about it more and I realized it's probably fine because you probably like. I mean, I don't know, but you probably like if it was Scarf, then you probably needed like Intimidate to like lessen the blow from like a knockoff, or it probably helped a lot. So
yeah,
probably okay.
But
like, yeah, it would have been tremendously funny if it had happened. But the Meowscarada Tauros like situation didn't really happen. Anyway, it didn't happen that way.
Yeah,
so no. it didn't matter. Meowscarada didn't click anything on, and it didn't click Flower Trick a single time.
Yeah.
But yeah, like time. This is. Yeah, this ended up being pretty sick, so Roja. It did work.
Yeah, it cleaned up pretty well. I'm amazed it worked, frankly.
Yeah.
Other than that, I made a lot of blunders in my gameplay plan, but oh well.
Yeah.
I'm here to have fun.
It worked out.
It worked out.
You took the game. You took the dub. That's all that matters.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any final thoughts overall? Or is that about it?
I can't think of anything.
Okay.
Thanks for letting me speak on my team.
All right. Thanks for your time.
And my favorite guy on this team is Merciless Toxapex for the bit. You thought there were probably people who thought I was going to say Tauros. No, Merciless Toxapex is an extremely good bit.
It's too good of a bit.
I just realized we haven't had music playing for the past, 10 minutes. Whoops.
Yeah, I sent the song and you didn't play it.
I did!
What?
I played it during the battle, I just didn't have it loop.
Oh, I didn't see it on the tabs. But I guess it was on a different window.
Yeah.
Or stuff. Anyways, let's pull a bell.
Oh, wait, hold on. Let me...
I don't think Bell was all there when we were building together. I think I did most of the work. But...
Yeah. It happens.
Chill.
I could definitely say what I was like thinking during the game, what some of the choices that I made.
So you didn't look at speed stats and you
I did. I did. Well, I did, but it was too late. I mean, you know, I wasn't, and then I was. There was a point where the big mistake, of course, keeping in Swampert, just awful.
Being a Swampert and throwing away Hat, or just like randomly like switching in Hat into like something that it was not equipped for.
Yeah, no, yeah. I mean that seems to be a theme with me and Hat. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
You switched or you had a Nido Queen speed blunder, right, too?
Probably, yeah.
I thought you did. I thought it was like Nido Queen versus something.
Yeah.
Versus,
Delphox basically worked exactly how it needed to.
Yeah. If it weren't for the scarf. Yeah, Nido Queen staying into extra go, that's right. Didn't hover over the speed for that. But
yeah, that's bad. I don't know why I did. I had something to deal with that.
Yeah, Delphox worked out pretty much right. If it weren't for the Tauros, the Scarf Tauros, then Delphox would have won.
For sure. That was big ouchie on that one.
Delphox was Chukka so that it could stay in on Excadrill, like Sandrush, Excadrill, Earthquake, and then like get the Oko with Flamethrower. Yeah, I don't know. It's pretty normal. It worked out. It's a chill. It was a good set. Delphox did its job.
Yep.
Meow kind of didn't really do stuff this game.
Yeah. Painful, but it's
the
very true.
Tauros is just kind of annoying for it in every possible conceivable way.
Yep.
Which friggin' happens.
Yeah, it's just like all of them had been placed in pretty bad situations, and you know, by the time I swapped them out, you know, Tauros,
ready to clean up.
It was so fucking ready. That was the most scared I've been this whole draft.
Swampert was pretty normal. It was roar for your. It was max defense to wall Charizard X, and it was like roar to get rid of Charizard X if it like got its if it got like DDs up. Pretty standard. Swampert pretty much did its job other than dying to a random drain, which it was actually very. I don't know. I think it's so funny that Bell got Christ himself came down from heaven and like was like, hey, look, I know you just left Swampert in against a grass type, but like, okay, look, I'm gonna make her click a illegal move, and there's gonna be a whole thing about it, and you're gonna have a lot of time to think about the fact that you're in against the grass type and leave, and then you stayed in on the grass type.
This is true. I did do this. Fine. It's fine.
Altaria was kind of meant to be like a cleaner this game. It also kind of didn't really get to do any stuff. There was 4 EVs missing on it. I think we just forgot about that, but it doesn't really matter. The 1 point is never a big deal. You just put it there because you need to put it somewhere. But sometimes you just forget. It fucking happens. But yeah, it was meant to be a cleaner. It didn't get to really clean anything up. Nido Queen clicked a big button.
Ooh.
Blood Wave's a strong move. or wait, Earth Power is the strong Sludge Power Earth. It killed something. It killed stuff. So
Yup.
it's fine.
Yup.
Unicorn's cool.
Unicorn's awesome.
I
Becoming a favorite.
also kind of did eject shit. I'll be real. It just kind of got eject buttoned out and then died, and then and then like came back in, and then it was literally not that good. Really, this was just like a 3 Pokemon game, but and I was surprised it was still 1-0, honestly, considering that. But Delphox just was really good into that roster.
Yeah. Definitely looking. I'm definitely looking to play some more Delphox games. That thing is kind of a monster.
Any final thoughts overall?
Crushing defeat for the Washington Wizards too, but I know we can come back from this one.
All right.
Let's go.
What's your favorite guy?
My favorite guy, honestly, that Delphox is kind of cooking. I do like that Delphox. I was like thinking about it the whole time, and I was like, I think it's Delphox. I think it's Delphox. It's just fun. It's just fun and cute and sweet.
I click the buttons. Really good.
Sometimes the answer really is just the guy who clicks buttons.
For fucking real. Alright. Let's pull up Charlotte
player
versus
template.
Lillie.
Sorry, you're right.
The player template is me. Yep.
I was really looking forward to seeing how player template cooks, but I guess we could wait until they get on call. It's fine. It's fine. I'm not mad about it.
So like, I'll be real. So okay, here's the thing about this game. Charlotte literally just copy pasted their week 2 team and just used it in this game because I guess they didn't feel like building. So this is not a counter team. This is just kind of the same team that got brought week 2. But it does mean that we get to see this fucking goofy Bronzong again.
The return of this fool. At the end of the day, Charlotte's nickname game goes insane.
Fucking +3 SD didn't like. They're like +3 like Shadow Sneaking Kill, but I don't know if that's what it is. But
Masquerain is a fiend to look out
time
for.
for Bronzong. It's time for Bronzong.
It's time to get
Fire
scared.
Punch does not kill, but the future sight comes up. I just kind of stacked the the Bronzong there. Spins away the stuff. Now Regieleki's the fastest Pokemon ever, and it gets a sick combo with Future Sight into Full Switch. Mr. Coco comes out. U-turns out of the thing, and that does 1,000,000 damage. It does so much damage. That U-turn did way too much. I'll be real. Sneasler comes in. Dire Claw is the cheapest move ever. Cheeses out the fucking Azelf. U-turns out into the friggin' Aleki. The Ancient Power is a good bit, but it dies to EQ. Thunder Punch doesn't get the para, dies to EQ. Dire Claw kills. And then Psychic kills. the electric terrain ended up kind of backfiring there.
Yep.
And that's that game. So let's pull in Lillie. Talk about the team here.
Hi, it's me.
Hi.
Before I do anything, I gotta say, a big honor to be in the same presence as the Slurping Singer. Honestly, I'm a little starstruck right now.
Yeah, I'm glad.
But so I built this week because last week I had a bye, which was really good timing because I was in Wisdom Tooth mode. I built this team just before I entered Wisdom Tooth mode. And I don't remember my full thought process because it was 2 weeks ago, but I do remember I kind of was like anxiously like, I think I should go a bit more in on offense because I just kind of, I don't know how to word it other than like I felt it, and I just kind of chose stuff that I thought was good because the big thing I was worried about is that Charlotte's team is fast as fuck. It had a fucking crazy fast team, and then I looked at my speed numbers and I was like, oh, I'm in the 80 zone, and meanwhile fucking it's over there 120, 130, 95, 200, 117. Like there's a lot of
unburdened Sizzler, like fucking crazy shit,
like big threats that I was like kind of worried about. But I remember at least like the big thing being that like I was like, because I remember I mentioned week 2 that I was like, okay, I thought about offensive D Knight and I was like, I wonder how well that would work. This week I was looking at it and I was like, I think offensive D Knight is the play here, which it was. It worked out really well. I think offensive D Knight was a really good move on my part here. Everything else was just kind of chosen to like be good against certain options. So like Cleavor, for example, you know, if like that sorry, I'm just like looking at it. That was like kind of scary for Sneasler, like depending on circumstances. If I got like a decent hit in, it could hit most things like decently hard, and like rocks were like kind of scary. I was like, oh, you know, whatever. And like Cleavor's just good. Like I was just like, it'll hit hard, it'll do something. Sarah Ledge was kind of the same purpose. I kind of just figured like it can hit hard and it can do good against certain things, and it also has some form of priority. It didn't end up doing much, but I still think it was like a good bring. Azelf was Azelf. That Azelf does Azelf things.
You keep bringing that trick spec set, and it kind of keeps working.
I feel like eventually I'm gonna stop bringing it. I definitely think I will, like, at some point. I should say that, like, I'm going to bring it next week. You get what the fuck I mean. But, like, it just kind of keeps being, like, Vex Azelf in general is good. Like, I feel like it's just good because it hits hard and it's fast. Like, that's always my main purpose. I'm like, okay, I just bring Specs because it hits hard and Azelf can do good. And if I happen to get the trick off, then hey, there I go. And then both battles I've brought it in, it's just been like turn 1, I'm like, why would I not click trick here? It's like in my second week battle, it's like, oh, lead against fucking that thing, the dark fairy type mustache thing. Yeah, Grimsnarl. So I was like, okay, click trick. Same thing here. I saw Masquerade. I'm like, that thing is clicking Sticky Web. There's no way it's clicking Bug Buzz. It is clicking Sticky Web. If I put specs on it, cool. If it switches and I get specs on something else, cool. That's always my thought process with Azelf.
The specs sort of backfired on that because it did a humongo damage to fucking to fucking guy.
The thing.
Hair ledge, but
it definitely like kind of backfired, but I don't think like it severely limited me. Raichu was it was a pick I was like seriously debating on because I was like, I don't know if I want to bring it because I feel like it's kind of gimmicky, but
Yeah.
Like, while I was, and like, I just kind of went like, fuck it, I'll bring it, because like, I looked at my team, I was like, I don't really like bringing anything else here. Gyarados maybe, but I was like, I don't know about Gyara. Fucking, and everything else was just like, whatever. So it's just like, you know what, I don't know, like, this is probably my best chance to bring Raichu. Like, Raichu I think is good, but this was my best chance to bring Raichu. And when I was playing, I was like, I can feel the threat of Raichu. I think that, like, the threat of Surge Surfer being, like, even with webs, that thing is, like, 600, 500 speed. That outsped fucking everything on the team. And, like, I was feeling like, okay, yeah, this was a good bring. Because, like, I figured, like, Coco's coming no matter what. Like, Coco's a really fucking good Pokemon. And even if Raichu didn't get to go crazy, like, Raichu's just a good Poke. Like, it has a good moveset, it has solid stats, it's just really squishy.
Yeah,
like,
and if it were like adamant, like against like adamant like Sneasler, it could like outspeed and psychic. Like it's still like it had a lot of.
I definitely got really lucky at the end there. I did calc it, and Dire Claw was a roll if it killed or not. So if in the circumstance that it was unburdened and didn't have the item, then I might have been able to get away with it, but it still would have been a really close call. But Raichu is definitely, like, I think a deciding factor, because that kind of made bringing Coco out scary. Because even with webs, it's like, if you bring out Coco, and, like, you know, at the wrong time, it's like, okay, I just bring in Raichu. Okay, cool. I outspeed everything, and it's fucking, it's Raichu with a Life Orb. It hits pretty good.
Yeah.
But... And yeah, Rillaboom is just... I love eating glizzies so much. It's delicious.
So good. I like Bandit Rillaboom. I keep thinking about it. Anytime I look at like a team where I'm helping somebody prep for you or whatever the fuck, where I'm just thinking about your team, and I'm just like, when the fuck would you like not bring Bandit?
Like
Rillaboom?
I feel
like, what?
Sorry.
Bandit Rillaboom's just so good that like it's like opportunity cost not to bring Band. Like,
like I
you can bring other sets, but it's so good.
Yeah, like I literally sit there and like every time I'm making the team, I'm just like, am I really about to go back, fucking copy paste the set I used for Rillaboom and put it there again? And every time I'm like, why would I bring anything else? Rillaboom is just so fucking good. That is such a stupid good Pokemon, and it continues to pull its weight. Like, even just in the background as a threat, like, you have to consider it. Also, damn, you keep fucking plotting teams against me.
I haven't prepped against you that many times. I just prepped I just prepped Diana and Ellie. Well, I guess that's 2 out of 3, so never mind. But I didn't prep Charlotte at all for this.
Diana's preying on my downfall. I can't believe it. You hate to see it. This is kind of fucked up. But yeah, that was basically my decision. It was definitely a bit of an odd choice to kind of lean all in, I think, on the offense, but honestly, it made for a really fun match, and I think it worked because I got a lot of fighting a fast team like that, like, I think the only way I was going to really like make an impact was just like, I need to go full power to match that power, because if I lose, then well, whatever. But like in this instance, I feel like the determining factor was like, yo, Banded Dragonite, or like, you know, even Ceruledge, like, doing a decent number on Masquerain. Like, it didn't kill, but like it did a good amount. I was like, you know what, fuck it, whatever. Like, +3, it's doing numbers. That's like, in that game, in that instance, that was the best it was going to do. And yeah, I don't know, it was just a bit of some odd choices. A lot of it I don't remember because it was 2 weeks ago, but I am very happy with how that game came out, and I was very happy with the team. Did I die again?
Yeah.
Okay, there I am.
I was lying. Sorry.
I believed you. I thought I was like dead. No, I thought I like disconnected. I was like, did I like disconnect?
I'm literally, like, I'm only here to cause problems, because it's funny.
You are such a tricky troublemaker.
I literally am.
But yeah, that's my team. That was me. That was all my funny choices. Do I get to pick my favorite Pokemon and my opponent's and like my favorite of my opponent's Pokemon, or is that you guys?
That's my pick. You're stealing
Okay,
my
okay,
job. This is like the only thing I'm here for.
That's why I asked. That's why I asked.
It's like all I'm here for. I just let you guys handle all the analysis, and I get to say who the MVP is. I get to decide definitively.
I was only asking because I was not sure.
You're a fucking job stealer. You're out of here. You're out of here. Thank you for your time. You're fucking out of here. Yeah, what's your favorite guy, though?
The Alolan Raichu, honestly, because that making the Tapu Koko electric terrain surge ability, you know the one. You know what I'm talking about. Making it essentially backfire is extremely funny. That's like really good tech. I love that shit. It's like the perfect countermeasure.
For real. Anyways, yeah, so this is literally just Charlotte's team from their match against Diana. Like, it's not, it literally is not different at all. It actually is a different Pokepace, which is funny, but it's not, it is the same team. So, I don't, like, really, there's not much analysis. I'm, like, honestly, the fact that Charlotte was able to bring it as close as it was with that team, with this team not being a counter team, is kind of impressive to me. Like, again, it literally is just the team that was against Diana's team, which is about as different from Lily's as can be.
Yeah.
But, like, there's not that much to say about it. I will say, like, I think that if Charlotte had just built a team, it probably honestly would have, like, it probably, like, there's a high chance it could have won, but, you know, it's just, I guess we'll never know. But, you know, good shit to both players anyways.
My favorite, just based on nickname, is Snip Steeply. I gotta be so real.
Snip Steeply. Snip Steeply also put in work this game.
Very true. The Scald went crazy. Yeah. When the Snip Steeply got the Scald off, I was like, I was doing PogChamp in real life, genuinely. It was fucking awesome. Alright. Lillie may have all W's, by the way, but we must not forget about her demerit.
Yeah.
The demerit is like her one loss, honestly.
Yeah, for real. What else do we have right now? We have, well, we just have Faye and Diana left.
Wow, we went through this quick. Especially with the fact that we had trades. God damn.
Yeah. There's honestly a lot of, like, kind of clean sweeps this week.
Very true.
Is one thing.
There was a lot of slaughters. And then there was the Battle of the Birds. The Battle of the Birds is still, like, the craziest shit ever.
Yeah. Though, to be fair, this is a long,
Oh boy.
We can start at normal, but it'll, we'll have to increase the speed later.
Let's go.
Little Clipper.
And Little Tommy.
The littlest tiny babies. But yeah. This like Calm Mind Raikou does work for a bit. Diana doesn't really have a good way to, like, hit it. She just kind of puts buttons on it. It dies to an Aura Sphere, unfortunately. Swallow was, like, kind of set to do work this game, but it just kind of didn't get to do stuff. But the, honestly, that still did so fucking much, considering the Slowbro being a Slowbro. And then this fucking Altaria is the bane of this fucking entire game. You can go to fast now, or like you can go to fast.
Yeah, are we having some fun?
Well,
This is a
Latias,
certified substitute moment.
Latias sets up the Calm Mind, and then it sets up another. And then Clef comes in, and then it eats a big Psychic, and then it eats another big Psychic and dies. And then the Bisharp comes in. This was actually Reflect type Latias, but Diana forgot to click Reflect type, so it didn't. It was supposed to beat the Bisharp, but it didn't. Unfortunately. And then this Altaria keeps fucking around. But Manaphy comes in, and it has fat fucking tail glow up. Raikou Calm Minds, but the +3 is just too strong. And then the Sucker doesn't kill. Surf kills here. The next Freeze Dry does clean it up though. You can set the game to hyper fast now. I'm being
This is a great one.
Yeah, the Pharaoh can't break the sub like fast enough, and it can't get Leech Seed up. And the Altaria has no attacking moves, so all it can do is just kind of PP stall. Pharaoh like attempts to make progress. And then occasionally we get like a little bit of serotonin when we see like a different Pokemon on the screen for a second, and then the Altaria comes back, and then it clicks Substitute, and then it clicks Will-O-Wisp, and then it clicks Roost, and then it clicks Defog, and then Slowbro comes in. Whoa, wait, that's crazy. There's a different guy on the screen. And then Altaria comes in. Then it uses Substitute, and the feature site doesn't do anything. Then it clicks Defog, and then Slowbro comes in and gets Hurricane confused, but whatever. Altaria's back. Hurricane works again, but then Altaria is back, and it clicks Substitute, it's Roost, it clicks Substitute, Slowbro. Freeze Dry kills the Developer. Pharaoh has to sit on this, and it doesn't fucking do anything, and then Scuda comes in, and then it doesn't... Waterfall breaks the sub, but then it's burned, and I can't fucking do anything. Fucking dies the Blizzard, and then Pharaoh finally dies the Blizzard on turn 69. Yeah, kind of a stupid battle. But let's get Faye in here to talk about it.
The ultimate turn counter, though.
It's fucking boss.
Hi.
Hi, Faye. Let's start from the bottom, shall we? Let's talk about this Altaria.
Well, just
Well,
noticed
in Algeria.
the 0 attacks.
Yeah, I was just thinking about like. Honestly, I did not want attacking moves on it because I did not think I would be. I wasn't expecting it to like actually last that long. Like, okay, the Altaria was there to do like 2 things, which was like one, click just sit on Ferrothorn and just stop it from getting hazards and leech seeding and that's what it did in that game. But the other thing it was supposed to do was like switching on pivot into Basculation and either like not take much from Hydro Pump or Shadow Ball or anything, or it could fucking die to Ice Beam so that I can bring in Bishop and just kill it that way, because like Basculation was like the scariest thing. I was like Basculation was like what I was feeling was the scariest thing to my teams. Like,
Yeah.
that's what the Altaria was there to do, is to like. And I didn't run any attack moves because I didn't actually expect it to like need it to make progress, but then the burn damage doesn't out damage leftovers.
Yeah.
So the Ferrothorn just kind of sat there a while.
Yep. It definitely did the sitting on Ferrothorn part. It sat on it quite well. Yeah. Cloud9 not getting rid of weather but disabling it is like sometimes bad, but in this specific instance was like fucking incredible. It was so much better than if it just removed the weather. Because like, God, it just kept anything from like happening.
I did mention it in like after this battle, like I did go in Sienna's server, and like I did mention that like I was planning to do like the Fly Knight build, but on Altaria potentially, like with like Fly, Dragon Dance, Substitute, Roost, so that I could also PP stall that way, and like every 2 turns, like Fly has like 24 PP, but because it's a 2-turn move, it effectively is like 48 turns of stalling, and then because of like Dragon Dance, I can like actually do some decent damage potentially.
Yeah.
And I decided that like I needed hazards and like Wisp would be. I foolishly thought that like Wisp would be enough chip damage, but forgot about it doesn't do more damage than the leftovers heals, so it just cancels it out. It's like it does kind of sit there awkwardly. And I did also realize that I probably could have played more aggressively with in that end game, because like I was scared of like getting revenge killed, but of getting like killed by a close combat from the Barraskewda. But the thing is that like Slowbro was here to just Slowbro could have just switched in and just taken like even a crunch would still only do like half its HP, and it could just regenerate out.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, ultimately the end game worked out.
Yeah, like
yeah.
It's like I also like with the Manaphy, like I wasn't like looking super closely at the Calpy. It's like having both Bishop and Vanillix to Avenge Kill it was like did make me like not just made me want to like risk it. They made me feel like safe to like just do something dumb, and like I thought that like I wasn't looking at the calc too closely, but I forgot about like the default Manaphy set had like a Z water move on it instead of Life Orb, so like I should have like put that in and realized that Raikou didn't have a chance of surviving at all. And also I forgot about the rain damage boost, so I should have just clicked Discharge. And Discharge I was like using because like Mainly because I was already planning to do like Calm Mind stuff anyway, so like I didn't really need the damage boost from Thunder. And like thought that there might have potentially been a situation where I would get caught outside of lane because like I stalled enough, and I would just miss the Thunder and die for it. But I went Discharge over Thunderbolt because I wanted to do something cheesy and funny.
Yeah.
But I didn't click it at the opportunity. It would have been good. And it also meant that there was no Bishop to make that Swords Dance and make that endgame faster.
Yeah.
So like.
Yeah, you have the.
I already mentioned that Bishop can Revenge Kill and Bishop can Pursuit Trap the Vascular Legion if it did come up. And I did see in the middle taunt. I did try to taunt the Mana Fee. I speed crept the Mana Fee specifically uninvested Mana Fee because I did see that Diana tended to bring uninvested speed. Tended to invest in bulk and special attack instead of speed. So I speed crept that with Bishop.
Yep.
And then
pretty normal Clef, pretty normal Slowbro.
It does have Protect and
it
does have Protect as its fourth move, so mainly because if I ended up in a situation where it would be Bella Scuda flip turned into Vascular Legion potentially, or if Diana did a double switch into Vascular Legion, I would have Protect to scout out the choice lock.
Yeah.
But otherwise, it was just switching to Vascular Legion, and then Clefable was on potentially for something if I was going to get into if Sharpedo came, then Clefable would have been good against that.
Yeah.
And he could have clicked Encore on Mana Fee trying to tail glow, or Encore would also work on Protect, I'm pretty sure. If Sharpedo tried that.
Yeah.
So just give me free turns that way.
Yeah. Did I cover most of it? You have any final thoughts?
Sleep Talk is just because I didn't. What other button am I gonna click?
Yeah.
Already, it's I have one button I'm gonna click 90% of the time. So I have Sleep Talk just for fun.
And my favorite guy is... This one's also obvious. I mean, it's the Altaria. I think the no-attack Altaria is, funny as fuck. And,
it's just fuck.
It worked.
One.
It literally worked. You can't even say it didn't work, because it did. It got shit done. You'd love
Very
to
slowly.
see it.
Very slowly.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah. Thanks for your time, Faye.
Slow and
good
steady
shit.
wins the race.
So we can finally talk about Diana. I pseudo helped Diana prep for this game. Basically, Diana DM'd me and was like, "Hey, do you want to can you help me prep?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure." And I kind of sent her ideas, but I think she just was kind of out of it for a lot of this week, so she didn't end up responding. So I just sent her kind of a couple ideas for what might be good, but then she kind of put them in there, but then just kind of did her own thing mostly. Basically, the main things that I did was I was Swallow is really good here because Boom Burst hits everything really hard. And then I was Reflect type Latios is good because it could lure the Bisharp and beat it, and Bisharp's really scary. And those are the main two things. Unfortunately, Swallow immediately died, and Latios didn't click Reflect type. So That's a shame. As it pointed out, like the Latias still probably could have just like won like a Calm Mind war against or the Raikou could have still probably just won a Calm Mind war against the Latias, but like, you know, Latias is still like it would have at least like at least scared out the Bisharp or they probably killed it. But yeah. Overall, I mean, I think the game got kind of played like mostly fine, other than just like the two main misplays that I just mentioned there. I mean, I think that the Manaphy like was a pretty good recovery on that. And I think if Diana had probably understood more about Cloud9 mechanics, which to be fair, they're confusing. Most people don't understand Cloud9 mechanics. It's not a very common ability. Then she probably had a better chance of winning, but you know, unfortunately, just not fully prepped. Didn't spend a lot of time on it. Didn't get to like go through it with me or anything. So it just kind of, a couple misplays eventually happened, and it is what it is. I still think Diana played that game pretty well overall, other than the major missteps. But yeah. But yeah, good shit to both players overall. I don't think it's too complicated. This is pretty normal sets on every Pokemon. Like Tailglow, Manaphy, Banded, Barraskewda, Damp Rock, Pelipper. It's all the same shit. But yeah. I think that about covers our replay review for this week. I guess we can look at the standings really quick, the current rankings. We're at halftime now. Again, these are an approximation, although I think they're actually pretty accurate currently. I had to run the numbers because we did the trades in from lowest to highest on the rankings. That was the trade order. And I had to make sure that like people who had buys were like not being unfairly like shafted in the order or anything.
Yeah.
Because they had less games or whatever. But no, everything seemed pretty much right. So, I guess you can take this as a pretty accurate snapshot of the current standings.
Yeah, Tristana
both of the Lillies.
Tristana had to fuck up and win, so now I am in last place.
We have the two Lillies in top 1 and 2. They are each other's matches next week, which is so fucking hype. The two undefeated players are both named Lillie, and they're both going to fight each other. And you have me, Hazel, and Eve right under the Lillies. And the WAFFLOES. Belle and Ray pretty close, but Belle edging out barely. And then we have Faye, Ellie, wait. Bruh. I forgot we needed to do Ellie Lilly. Sorry, we're not done with the draft stream yet. I almost missed that. I forgot about that game. I literally prepped Ellie for that shit, and I forgot about it.
That's
okay,
so
sorry.
funny. We actually just forgot an entire game.
Okay, hey, let's talk about Ellie Lilly now.
Wrong game.
This game, like, yeah. Sorry, I nearly fucked up. We nearly fucked up. For real.
If it makes you feel any better, though, like...
I just got, like, confused because we had we had one of two people for every team except for them in the audience, so I just got confused. I was like, oh, well, we must be done with everybody, because everybody was there, so... Okay, but yeah, let's get this going.
A Lillie game where she doesn't get guilt tripped.
Yes, a straightforward one. So
Arceus steal.
Yeah.
Ellie trying to
that
get in the
starts with
Arceus
a
steal.
the throwing away the Grimmsnarl kind of sucks, and then the Celesteela does less than expected to the Mel. The Air Slash was a cute idea to just try and cheese out a win against the Mel, but it doesn't work.
Yeah.
Mel
is just like fucking
Sorry.
brutal.
Yeah, that's an AV Mel. Zard comes in for the revenge, but Ellie doesn't look at the speed and gets pwned by Rock Slide. Mel comes in on the Cryogonal, doesn't do much. Sandy Shocks tanks this double iron bash like a champ, but now that guy gotta leave. Gets the rocks up, but now the speed is back down. Volt Switch is out, and it honestly does a lot of damage. But back into Mel. Freeze Dry does jack shit. Spins on the Mel for some reason. I don't remember why this happened. It gets kind of pwned. Sends out Sandy Shocks. Volt Switch is out. It does kill. Slitherwing comes in and clicks close combat real quick, but it doesn't kill. The defog happens, and then Lillie selects the Sex the Noivern.
Sex.
We're
like falling apart. We're like falling apart
Yeah.
this stream.
Ellie sex Sandy Shucks. Ellie effectively sex Slitherwing because Scarf. Yeah, pretty quick game overall. We can talk about Lily's team and we can talk about Ellie's first, I guess, because I prepped Ellie. And I would like to. I actually think it's. For my brain, I thought about Ellie's team, and then I thought about Lily's team, because, like, I prepped Ellie, and then Lillie was like, okay, if I talk about stuff, will you not change the team you made with Ellie? And I was like, okay, sure. Fine, whatever. And I was like, okay, so I overheard a bunch of that stuff. So let's look at Ellie's first, actually. Yeah, so basically the idea behind this team was that Celesteela would win the game, and it didn't win the game. Grimmsnarl was bulk up. I was really scared of like it was single screen bulk up with light clay. I was really scared of like all the physical wall breakers that Lillie had, so like we brought like reflect only on Grimmsnarl, but it probably should have been light screen, realistically. Ellie did notably stay in on the fucking Lele, which should not have happened. Ellie should have hard switched to Cell, but I think that he was scared of like Cell is still taking too much damage early. But yeah, Grimmsnarl getting thrown away sucked, and then we had Jarwai, who's kind of a normal breaker. Didn't really need like most of the moves that it has, so it kind of we went with Dragon Pulse to hit Garchomp harder. Unfortunately, Charizard Y is slower than Garchomp is, than normal Garchomp is, and so Ellie didn't look at the numbers. So she stayed in on a Rock Slide and died. Which sucked, because Charizard kind of was pretty important in that game overall. It probably would have like won the game if it had been able to. Sandy Shocks is pretty fucking normal. It was T-Wave for 4th move. It's like Thunderbolt, just I think for like, just to get the para in there. Paralysis is good, notably. It didn't get to do that much. Basically, the idea was just that it would be fast as fuck in in Sun and be able to like outspeed and pump stuff. And it's a rock setter, and it's a pivot, and it is like a really important resist to Melmetal. And it hits Melmetal really hard in general. But it didn't quite get to do that game, unfortunately. Cryogonal was basically there as like secondary hazard removal and insurance against Porygon Z. Because Cryogonal has very nice special bulk. So it was able to kind of leverage that by just kind of not dying to Porygon Z moves, and then like to like +1 Porygon Z Thunderbolt, and then hazing away the boosts so that Porygon was not as much of a threat. Freeze Dry with 80 special attack EVs was there for like Okoing or having a pretty good Oko roll on Garchomp, like a Garchomp. And then other EVs, it was 156 speed to, I think, speed creep, also to speed creep Mega Garchomp, just to be faster. And then, you know, Rapid Spin, Freeze Dry, Haze, Recover is pretty normal. We talked about Grimmsnarl already. And then Slitherwing was CC Wild Charge, U-Turn Earthquake. In retrospect, I kind of wish there was something that it had to hit Lele, but it's not like it really mattered because it was Scarf Lele. It was faster. The idea of this was basically just to have like a speed control thing, like Revenge Killer that was not reliant on priority because Psychic Terrain was probably coming, and it did. So, yeah. Overall, I'm like still mostly happy with the way that like we built this. I just think that Ellie made some misplays, so I'm blaming her, and I did nothing wrong. And who was your favorite guy on it, though?
I mean, like, honestly, like, the second I saw the Automatize, even though it, like, didn't do anything, like, Arceus Steel really won my heart. I gotta be real. Yep. It endeared itself to me. It endeared itself to me.
Yeah.
It may not have won, but goddamn did it try its best. I mean, there's only so much you could do up against this big bitch, the Mel.
Yeah, we can talk about Lily's team. I know only so much about it, but yeah. Lillie literally put Scarf on Lele like last fucking second. She was like agonizing like literally up until like the moment they played the game of if it should be a Scarf or Specs, and it was Scarf, which was the right call objectively.
Yeah.
I don't know if the game would have gone the same way if it was Specs. It was like double Psychic and Psyshock in order to like. I guess there was some things that some targets that like it was like hitting harder than just bringing a coverage move was. I didn't run any of the calcs, but I'll believe it. Metal is AV, probably for Celesteela, and I probably should have seen that coming, but whatever. And for Charizard, certainly. And it fucking did its job. I mean, it took those fucking hits. Mel is fucking good. Really good Pokemon. Yeah, Chomp is double hazard Chomp with like Rock Slide Earthquake. Rock Slide was chosen because it got the Oko on Charizard and it is slightly more accurate. So, you know, shouts out to that. Pretty normal like pivot Noivern with defog, hazard removal, pivot, clicks Draco, real good. No Hurricane, presumably because of the fear of 50% accuracy in Sun. And then I guess the Flamethrower would be boosted by the Sun too, so that works out. Pretty bog standard Porygon Z. It could have been running like a third move, like a Psychic or a Shadow Ball or something, but Recover is good. and it honestly has decent enough bulk, especially with +1 defense and special defense to get away with recovering at least once. It's just a really good sweeper, so it's normal. And then this kind of utility, like this like Gengar, it just clicks stabs, clicks Thunderbolt, and it has a nice Destiny bond there, in case anything gets too big for its fucking britches. But yeah, it's pretty normal overall. It's a pretty average roster of 6, I would say. Yeah. Well, not average, but it's like, everything's pretty self-explanatory. Other than the Mel's a little weird, but it's nothing crazy. But yeah, shuts out, and I assume everything's speed creeping something. I'm not doing that right now.
Yeah, in my mind, I was gonna go with just Tapu Lele. I felt like that was the safe option for favorite Pokemon, but honestly, after thinking about it, I have to give it to Gengar because I just thought about how funny Nitro Rad Surviving is as a nickname. That's maybe one of the top nicknames in the entire draft. It took a bit for it to hit. I had been staring at this sheet for a bit, so it shouldn't have taken so long to hit. But once it hit, I was like, wait, this is maybe one of the funniest nicknames that anybody's come up with in the entire draft. It's so good.
Yeah, that does cover it. We actually are done with talking about the draft now. With with talking about week 4.
Yeah.
And speaking of weeks, actually, I guess that is a little bit of housekeeping. Morgan said there might be a bit of a weird situation on week 5.
Hold on, I need to pull up Faye's names again just to be sure. I mean, yeah, these are pretty good names, to be fair. Well, this week only. Honestly, this week only having one Pokemon named and having that Pokemon named Dragon Ball 3 is extremely good. But yeah, these are all pretty good. I remember really liking the Happy Smiler, and these are all great. I really love Little Tommy. Little Tommy is very endearing.
I think Faye also might be talking about the team names, the
team names themselves. You know what? Yeah. I gotta be honest, I haven't even been paying attention to them because very few people have been giving them, names like these. I mean, you definitely, in terms of, the team names, you won, Faye. You won. Yeah. You have specifically gone out of your way to name your teams after, disrespecting your opponent.
Yeah.
Which I think is the honorable way to do it.
For real. But yeah, I think that does about. Yeah, I was gonna say, you said, I was saying, Morgan might not be around for week 5 and 6 draft review. It's possible.
Yeah. I should talk about that. Let me get Dr. Phil on screen real quick. So yeah, as I have been talking about many times on stream, and maybe some of the people who mostly tune into draft stuff haven't heard this, everybody has their stuff they watch. Yeah, I am going to be going on vacation to Hawaii from the 15th to the 23rd. We will be home on the 23rd, so there's a chance for week 6 to be then. But I might just be too wiped out from the plane ride. We'll have to see. Yeah. I'll let you know on that day. That might be my only stream that week also, because I did tell the manager of my workplace that yeah, you can stick me on any hours. Honestly, that was a dumbass move. I should have just asked for 2 weeks off and taken the L that I only really get 15 hours paid. Yeah, that sucks, but 2 weeks off would have been dope.
Yeah.
So next week It's very likely that, like, Sunday, Monday, the days that I am not in Hawaii, it'll just be impossible for me to do Draft League because I'll get home at, like, 10 o'clock. Because I imagine, like, I'm usually a nighttime person, so she's probably gonna stick me on, like, 7 or 8 hour, like, night shifts, and it's gonna suck. And even if even if for some reason I went fucking crazy and was like, you know what, I'll do an 11 p.m. stream, I would probably still be too tired to do it. I wouldn't, like, ask Sienna to do that, and, like, especially with a lot of people in the league in, like, other countries, I don't think it's reasonable for us to do that.
Yeah.
So, at the very least, I think week 5 is going to be handled on stream by Sienna. I'm going to give Sienna my stream key, and she's gonna kind of do the stuff. Which means you all have to pester Sienna to name her favorite Pokemon on each team, by the way. You have to pester her to do that, because that is my role in these streams. Again, like, these are being broadcast on my channel, obviously, but I think, like, Sienna has been putting in, like, a lot, like, pretty much, like, 99% of the work. She's been doing all the analysis, a lot of the commentary. She's had a lot more intelligent things to say about Pokemon. Because it's, like, it's not that I'm bad at Pokemon. I mean, I'm doing bad in the league, but it's not because I'm bad at Pokemon. It's because, like, my kind of style of Pokemon
is... You're a Pokemon jock.
Yeah. My style of Pokemon is, like, not so much the, like, team analysis and, like, doing the calcs and stuff. I learned from experience. That's how I do it. That's part of why I'm not doing great in the league, because I've never done a draft league before. I'm very much a Pokemon player where it's like, I learned the numbers not by doing calcs, I learned the numbers by just putting myself in situations. That is how, like, if you saw, like, when I was on, like, the top 500 of the OU ladder, I had, like, the worst win rate out of anybody on that ladder. And, like, I would imagine if I ever got up there again, I would probably still have, like, the single worst win rate up there. Because you know what? I do things by trial and error. I just, like, figure out how things work, I do it incrementally, and it's not necessarily the best way to do draft, especially when things are best of one, but that's the style I play. Sienna, on the other hand, like, she is, like, very analytical, very, like, does the calcs. She puts in the work to increase her game knowledge because she knows that'll give her a better chance of winning if she's more educated on what her Pokemon can do and what her opponent's Pokemon can do. She puts a lot of thoughts into these things, and that's why she's, like, so easily able to, like, carry these streams and, like, have, like, very, like, intelligent, like, things to say, you know? She like, I know Mons from experience. Sienna knows Mons from, like, experience and study.
Yeah. But yeah, I do hope that I can bring, like, a cool... I hope I can make it a fun stream. I'm probably gonna bring in, Hazel or Eve, or, well, I don't know, somebody, probably one of the two, and we'll probably, have one of them co-host with me, at least for whichever one of the 2 weeks. And, you know, we'll see how it goes, but, you know, and I mean, hey, possibility also, like, stands that, you know, maybe both weeks we don't have anything fucking happen, but who knows? Like, it is just worth putting out there and just being like, hey, this might be different next week, or, you know, or the week after, and just, you know, keeping people informed, because if I come on the stream and it's just me and there's no Morgan in sight, and I'm probably doing some stupid bit where I, like, do a Morgan impression, I'm like, hey guys, it's me, Morgan, that's what you sound like, then it'll be weird.
Yeah.
But yeah. But I think that about covers stuff. I think that you can probably go and move on to the rest of your night. Once again, thanks for having me. Thanks for doing all the gaming. I'm gonna head out now.
Yeah, thank you as always.
Have a good rest of your stream. Bye.
Well, this is probably honestly gonna be the end of my stream tonight, because I gotta be honest, I've been feeling a little off tonight. I think that's why I've been like a little more quiet than usual. It is what it is, and I don't want to put on a bad show. Also, it's like way too late for me to want to start Mega Man 5 because of like everybody's telling me Mega Man 5 is a weirdo game, and if I have to play a weirdo video game till like 1 a.m. right now, I might lose myself. I might like
Fair enough.
I might kill someone, and it might be Mega Man. And if I kill Mega Man, like there will be ramifications for the entire world.
That's fucking you, Morgan. You can't kill Mega Man. Okay.
I know. That's why. That's
All right.
why. But yeah,
I love you. I love you. Don't kill Mega Man. Okay.
I
Bye
won't. Bye. But yeah, I'll be okay. I'll be okay. I won't kill Mega Man. I promise. But as a result, you probably will see a late night Mega Man stream or two before I go on vacation. This week's gonna be, like, not great for me streaming because I work all, like, 9s to 10s. So, like, the 10 o'clock I'm definitely not streaming that night. The 9 o'clock is, like, a maybe. If I'm, like, feeling particularly crazy and I'm like, I want to play Mega Man right now, then, like, yeah, probably. But don't expect, like, a super long stream or anything. Shorter stream tonight, but that's okay. You gotta get those in there every now and then. I feel like we've been doing decently lengthy streams recently anyways. Yeah. It's gonna be it for tonight's stream. I wanna thank you all for coming. Hope you all have a good night and take care. I'll be back this week, probably. And if I'm not, you know where I'll be next week, in Hawaii. Sienna will take up Draft League Week 5 and potentially Week 6 if necessary. I'm hoping Week 6 isn't necessary, but we'll see. We will see. Yeah. Have a good night, everybody. Take care.